Interesting.
Yeah, I'm hearing something.
Well, that's the thing is we can hear ourselves just fine, and so we need to know what the stream is hearing.
I'm also hearing. Oh, that was better. I'm also hearing a lot of background noise from folks here.
That's just because of the microphones and the pickup on things. I don't really know how to fix that. These are very, very good microphones.
We're streaming right here. It's reading all the background.
Maybe that's it. It's never been this bad. Okay, I'm going to try to listen to this. I would just keep talking.
Okay, folks, if...
I think this is the same audio issue we were having before. Yes. What? Something's totally...
it's back on now.
Yeah, it's honestly just like these mics are being incredibly sensitive, and they're picking up a lot more than they should, I think. Yeah.
Hey, that's good, Will. Hey, Will, that's good. Yeah, what you're doing is really good. That was excellent. Can you try to hear us again? Listen to me again.
Trying to some takeaways.
Yeah, that was
Can you hear?
okay.
All right.
That's what we needed to turn down the gain there.
All right. Let me get this.
Okay. Can you turn it up in our headphones a little bit, Will? Just a little bit on the headphones there. Thank you. Okay, good. Yeah.
We're like a minute behind on here, so I'm about to listen to what he just did.
Okay. All right, folks, if you are just tuning in and you can hear me, I believe we've rectified our audio issue there. Thanks for tuning in. We just finished watching round one there, a quick one for you, and we are going to get we are going to get another match under camera for you right away. Folks, that's how fast Legacy can go sometimes. Sometimes Black Red Reanimator and Sneak and Show face off. And it's a fast one. Thanks for tuning in. You are watching live Legacy action from here, Mock's Boarding House in Seattle. This is Michael Tessier, and I'm joined by Jake McCune here in the booth. Really appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to bring it over to the booth. Welcome, everyone. Jake McCune is going ahead and getting us set up with another match, and we're going to bring you some more Legacy action. Folks, if you have just tuned in, we're in round one right now. We're just in the midst of round one. We're going to bring you 4 rounds total tonight of Legacy action. A lot went on this weekend. If you're a Legacy fan and you are following Card Kingdom, you could see not just one, but 2 live Legacy 1K events that took place. A big showing from Grixis Control this weekend, including a finals, which featured Grixis Control versus Grixis Control. I think it's an excellent deck in our particular Seattle meta. And I also think it's pretty good in the whole paper meta, despite not being that well represented online. I believe that it has a tough time making it through time on the online meta, and a little bit easier in paper when you can do some shortcuts and things like that. Interested to hear your thoughts. Why do you think Grixis Control had such a good showing here in our Seattle meta? And that was both in Seattle and Bellevue, two sides of the Seattle region. Anyway, Grixis Control having a good showing. And do you think that there are any cards from the new set that will make a splash in Legacy? Of course, we've got the pseudo lightning bolt effect, and we've also got the flying man 1/1 that can buff itself up. Pretty interesting cards, and will be interesting to see if we see any of them tonight. I am not familiar with anyone playing those tonight. In fact, it's a pretty light night here for us. I believe we have about 24 players for our weekly Legacy action here from Mock's Boarding House, Seattle. It's not very common that we have this few, but we're just on the heels of our back-to-back 1Ks. So, of course, that makes a bit of a change there. And here comes Jake McCune. Lavinia, great call, everyone. Here comes Jake McCune in the house. Do we have another match lined up? Yeah. Excellent.
We have. Let me get my headphones on. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm getting any of myself in my headphones, but that's chill. We have Richard Saguin. He's going to be on the left. Black Red Reanimator.
Okay.
And Nick Ragazzo on Not Elves tonight.
Okay.
Bug Opposition.
Got it.
Yeah, so this is going to be hopefully pretty sweet. Nick is up
Did you say
the game.
Bug Opposition?
You bet your dollar I did.
Oh my
your
goodness.
Bottom dollar.
Okay, we are gonna get our overlay fixed up here. Richard Saguin again on your left, playing Black-Red Reanimator.
Yep. I don't know if he's got any
And,
crazy flourishes. I just saw the animate deads in his list.
Right, I think that this is actually a fairly stock list.
Okay.
I've spoken with him about the Black-Red Reanimator, and he's excited to play it.
All right.
And who's on our right there?
Oh, Nick Ragazzo.
Nick Ragazzo, and he is playing Bug Opposition. Really looking forward to that. Hey, folks, for those of you interested in the deck list, we will try to get him to lay it out at the end of this match if you're all interested.
Yeah, and if you're looking for the 1K deck list, those are shortly posted to MTG Top 8. They just have to get organized and uploaded. So we literally just finished the other one yesterday. Our lovely TOs have other jobs as well. So I think, in a couple days, just keep an eye out on MTG Top 8. It'll definitely get uploaded. They always end up there.
Who is up a game in this match here,
Nick.
Jake?
Nick is up a game. So that makes me very curious as to how game one actually went.
Yeah.
I guess just force of will, perhaps, on some animation spells.
Sure, or if you get an opposition down,
exactly,
you can tap down just about anything there.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're the one with the Tidesmount Tyrant almost.
Pretty cool. So glad to see these two competitors square off. Richard Saguin, of course, has been playing a lot of show and tell type of decks with omniscience and stuff, but wanting to give Black-Red Reanimator a try. Of course, Eric Landon. You Landon on
this is
MTGO.
Sure.
Yeah. One of the great Black-Red Reanimator players.
Yeah.
Posting frequently in Reddit recently and kind of giving some of his insights into Black-Red Reanimator. Also is on the 5-0 list from this past week, so if you're interested in his latest list, you can check it out.
Okay.
Here's Richard with he's got a turn 0 Chancellor of the Annex in hand. Pretty good. And it looks like he's got Elish Norn and Unmask. I'm not sure if he has a way to reanimate yet. Nick, taking a look at his hand, showing us an Ensnaring Bridge, Jace, Force of Will, and a Noble Hierarch. Pretty interesting start for him. And there's that Chancellor on turn 0.
I'm really excited to see this Bug opposition deck unfold. I hope we get to see some interesting stuff happen here.
Yeah.
And it's just what a weird... There's so many combinations of decks you can play with Bug spells in this format. Be it, Shardless or kind of like Blade with Leovold or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just Bug control. But like opposition is such a cool Magic card.
It's really an amazing thing. How do you... why do you think opposition has not been as prevalent in Magic the Gathering Legacy format lately?
Well, if we're going to talk about opposition, I definitely think we should bring it up. So, for all the viewers at home, as I type this in and segue, here we go. Opposition is a 4-mana enchantment, 2 blue, tap an untapped creature you control and tap target artifact, creature, or land. So this is a very powerful effect. I know that opposition is like super highly picked in Cube, I think, a lot. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to play in Cube as well.
Here's an Unmask from Richard, and he's going to pitch this Entomb for that. And Nick, thinking about that Force of Will, and just going to force into this Chancellor trigger. Interesting. Maybe he...
I mean, I guess you don't have anything else to trigger the Chancellor. So I don't know.
He could have burned this Noble Hierarch, but maybe he's hoping to get this Ensnaring Bridge on the board, and that seems to be what his plan is. However, Richard's now unmasking, and there goes the Noble Hierarch, and Nick's Ensnaring Bridge now might be too slow.
Yeah, it's
Richard, back to Richard. No reanimation spell, and now no Entomb.
Yeah, Nick's now set up really well to just slam a bridge and hide behind it for a little while.
Yeah, here comes a fetch from Richard. This, I believe, is at end of turn. End of Nick's turn. Attempting to thin the deck here.
But yeah, as you were speaking to earlier, the reason that I don't think a lot of people play this opposition strategy is that it's very build-aroundy. You have to have a lot of creatures in play in order for your opposition to be effective. And even though it's very powerful, it's not like to scale as powerful as a lot of the other stuff that goes on in this format, I think. It feels like one of those strategies that, had it not been for more recent printings of Magic cards, it might hold a lot more sway.
Sure, yeah. Here's a brainstorm from Nick, and taking a look. There's 2 back. I believe among the cards were perhaps a Bant Charm and a Ponder. Is that an Azorius Charm or a Bant Charm?
I was actually hoping it was a Coiling Oracle, but I didn't get a great look at it.
it could be a Coiling Oracle, which would make much more sense in this bug opposition.
I think that's what I saw, but it was a very brief glimpse. And any of those cards certainly could show up here. Nick is probably having a lot of fun with this build tonight.
Yeah, Nick now at 3 lands in play can just slam a jamma the ensnaring bridge and ask Richard to deal with it.
I mean, Richard definitely has answers, right? I mean, you can snare braid, reanimate Tidespout Tyrant, and so on and so forth. But it traps or it boxes Richard into certain lines. Mm-hmm. You know,
Richard with just the tap, no shuffle, no cut, just the tap.
This is a casual Monday. Ooh, here we go. That's Unmoored Ego.
Yes.
So this is our latest 3 mana, sorcery speed surgical effect.
Right. There it is. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, graveyard hand-in library for up to 4 cards with the same name and exile them.
Wow, and a Dragon Lord in Richard Saguin's hand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Nick named. We'll see that in just a moment here.
That's a pretty cool little piece of tech, that Dragon Lord.
Yeah. Also, Richard with the Crypt Keeper, too.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
So I've actually been seeing this Crypt Keeper list float around a little bit. I love this idea.
It looks like Nick named the Grizzlebrand, so he's taking out the Grizzlebrand. So why do you like the Crypt Keeper?
It's like a little engine card that lets you discard, and I believe this is the one that makes a zombie, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, what, 2 and a black? It's a one mana creature, but then I believe it has the ability of 2 and a black tap, and then discard a card.
Yep.
Let's, maybe we typed it in wrong. I think it might be all one word. Huh. Crypt something.
But yes, we are talking about the...
Not to get too caught up in it.
Yeah.
It lets you, so it plays in your main game plan. It lets you pitch a card, put it in your graveyard.
Yeah.
Gives you a body on the field to prevent getting beat down, which is a problem that the Reanimator deck has when it's setting up its game plan. It just seems to center, it's like a less intensive pack rat. It's certainly not as good as pack rat at winning the game, but it might be more synergistic with the discard strategy. I'm not sure. It's actually interesting to me. I guess just being 1 mana is very important.
Right. Yeah.
Because otherwise, it costs more to pitch than pack rat does. No, it's the same. Never mind. Same amount. I forgot.
Yeah. I think that the big difference is that the Crypt Keeper, and here comes, it looks like that must be
a new art Reanimate, I think.
Yeah, Reanimate. And there comes the Chancellor of the Annex into play.
I think that's from the latest set. I think that's because there was a masterpiece or whatever of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that means there's a regular rare as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
So I think that's
it.
what that's from.
And Nick Ragazzo slam a jamma with the ensnaring bridge. There comes the ensnaring bridge, and Richard
did he
has a wear and tear in hand.
Did he pay for that? Did they not? Now that it's in play, he has to pay for all his spells, right?
Yeah. I think they missed that, so we'll get that fixed up there for you.
Yeah.
He needs to pay for the Chancellor.
I think he needs to remind him of Chancellor triggers. I think he needs to pay for his ensnaring bridge. He has it. He has the mana for it, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So we'll get this fixed up, folks.
Yeah, and I don't know how this falls into the new rulings either. I'm sure Chancellor's something you probably have to remind. Oh, are they putting it on this stack?
Let's double check the Chancellor.
Are they just letting it rock because both people forgot? That also might be the case.
Yeah, I think so. I think
that happens.
With those new trigger rules.
Yeah, sometimes when you, especially at a casual tournament, when you and your opponent both forget something, you just kind of look at each other and you're like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. So there is the wear and tear on the ensnaring bridge, and then Richard's going to swing in with the Chancellor of the Annex. Richard in the driver's seat, but Nick Ragazzo with another big-time haymaker.
Okay, cool.
Another ensnaring bridge. You got to pay for that, Richard says. And Nick says, yeah, I got to.
I'm happy about this ensnaring bridge, and I don't say those words often because this means we might get to continue to play the game of Magic.
Yes.
And if we get through 2 matches in less than 30 minutes in this round 1,
rocking.
I don't even know what we're gonna be able to do tonight.
Rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's all rocking. All right, so Richard Saguin, short of another wear and tear, what's his out here?
Well, He has another wear and tear. Oh, that's his graveyard. Never mind. Excuse me. I was looking there.
There goes a Faithless Looting, and not sure what Richard has exactly in his deck. I know a number of these Blackwood Reanimator lists are playing Bayou to play
Assassin's Trophy?
Assassin's Trophy,
That's
yes.
possible. I think he can also just reanimate a Tyrant under this and try to go and try to bounce. Feel like that's a game plan, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I can't think of anything that like stops that very easily. Shouts out to Josh Monks in the chat, by the way. Our Legacy 1K victor from yesterday, along with Mike Kiesel, our Legacy victor from Saturday.
Wow.
So yeah,
big-time players making big-time plays.
Yeah, both huge players in this community, local and bosses indeed. And so having both of them kind of take down 1Ks in the week is a really cool thing for, like no one from Canada got it. No one was kind of like an underdog or upset. It was like guys that are very, very good Magic players, and they were crushing it all weekend. So it was very much shouts out to them.
Big time ponder from Nick Ragazzo here. He's taking a look at a surgical extraction and Cabal Therapy among the cards. Another ponder as well. Excellent. 3 cards to choose from. And I'm curious to know if Nick's going to go for a surgical on that wear and tear before Richard can draw another one. It's a ponder.
Yeah,
and
that
here,
would...
He's going to pay. He needs to pay for the Chancellor. There it is. And here comes a 1 card deeper. It's a land,
It's
Underground
just a
Sea.
land. That would make a lot of sense to me if I'm thinking that is Richard's only out.
Right.
And in most of these lists, short of the Tidespout Tyrant line, I think it is. So it certainly helps your chance a lot. That said, you're then not having a surgical if your opponent just draws a reanimation target that is somehow relevant here.
Sure.
So it's very risky, I think.
I think that and there's an Entombment. We could see a Tidespout Tyrant here. Nick Ragazzo has that surgical in hand. Did not fire it off on the wear and tear. And this could surgical one of Richard's only outs, which could be that Tidespout Tyrant. Oh, there's an Entomb for a Faithless Looting. Richard probably does not have access to Tidespout Tyrant, or he doesn't want to leave it out in the open without an immediate reanimation spell for it.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty fun or a pretty interesting part of the line. Does he just pay 2 for that?
No, there's another land under there. Yep,
okay.
There's 3 lands under there. And Nick, of course, has Unmoored Ego Richard.
Cool.
So he knows exactly what's in Richard's deck, and we didn't get a chance to pay very close attention. There's that Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
I believe that's Dragon Lord.
A Tarka. Oh, no, not a Tarka. Kolagon.
Kolagon, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dragon Lord Kolagon. Other creatures
6/5
you control have haste. Whenever an opponent casts a creature or planeswalker spell with the same name as a card in his or graveyard, that player loses 10 life.
Yeah, how do you like that, Delver Dex? That's a fun one to put into play. Kolagon's great.
Dragon
also true because
Lord
everything gets haste.
Kolagon, yeah. Like a kind of Flamekin Zealot type
absolutely, yeah.
alternative. Back to Nick.
So Nick now has his surgical, which means he's just buying himself a turn against whatever Richard's reanimation spell is. But Richard has also the the big exile dude in his graveyard. The card underneath Kolagon is the black
Ashen Rider.
Ashen Rider. Thank you.
Yep.
Excuse me. Yeah, Ashen Rider. So there's 2 targets for Richard and only 1 surgical. And I don't know. We'll have to see what other kind of opposition Nick can put up, as not even intentional, against Richard's continuous throwing of giant guys.
Yeah.
And not I guess Ashen Rider is also an out to the bridge that we haven't been talking about. So that is also the case here. He's gonna try to force it on this Kolagon. If I'm Nick, I almost let him reanimate this Kolagon, I think. Maybe.
Sure, I think Richard's probably going to go for
bridge.
the Ashen Rider and accept that.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't know that Nick has this surgical, so here it is.
Sure.
Here's the Animate Dead, and Richard targeting the Ashen Rider, and Nick says, I'm going to surgical that. Bye-bye, Ashen Rider.
There we go.
Pay for your Chancellor. And now let's see, does Richard have any more outs? We're looking for Tidespout Tyrant or another copy of Wear and Tear. There's one. And that might be Crypt Breaker, excuse me, is the name of that card.
Yeah,
that's why we couldn't find it.
Wow.
Crypt Breaker.
So,
and it's only 2.
2. So it is. It's very nice. It also lets you draw cards if you ever get to 3 zombies. which, I mean, you only need to make 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So
Totally.
at a certain point in the game, if it gets stalled out, you might have a draw engine.
Mm-hmm. So we're back to Nick's turn after that surgical extraction targeting Ashen Rider. And there's a Snapcaster Mage and a Brainstorm in hand for Nick.
Yeah, Nick still needs to find a way to win this game of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been able to do a ton here other than kind of fend off Richard's attacks. So this Brainstorm's going to... Ooh, snap first. And yeah, he's playing with basically a Thalia tax on all his spells, right?
Right. So, but Nick here is going to target the surgical extraction. This is probably going to take out Richard's one and only out, being the wear and tear.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And I believe that's all she wrote, folks, unless we missed a Tidespout Tyrant in Richard's deck.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has any other kind of removal for this problematic artifact that's on the battlefield here. I think I'll be interested to see if Richard just scoops him up here. Mostly because, like, you know, Nick needs to... Snapcaster presents somewhat of a clock, I guess, but... No, because Bridge, right? So yeah, Nick needs to actually present a way to win the game, and I guess if he just gets opposition online, he gets to do that.
Nick needs to find opposition,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
win that way. Baleful Strix, I think, could be part of the equation.
Ooh, that
as
would make a
path
lot
to
of sense to me.
Victory, but at this point, I believe Richard is out of outs. He's still playing though, so there must be something in his deck that we didn't catch to take out this Ensnaring Bridge. Our players are tied at 9 life points.
Yeah.
Peace. There's a Brainstorm off the top for Nick.
All right. 2 mana Brainstorms. And there's a Noble. And I think, was that an Inquisition?
Inquisition.
Yeah, it is an Inquisition of Kozilek, isn't it?
Sure is, yeah.
So it looks kind of weird from here. Yeah. Is list for Nick's deck anywhere? Currently, no. We don't have access to lists. This is a Monday night regular REL event. These players bring their decks, however they may have them during the day. We don't have any way for them to fill out lists before the event or anything like that.
Yeah, if we've got enough time, hopefully we can get Nick to lay out his deck.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Chat with him about opposition and
certainly
what his thoughts are on it.
Be a good use.
Back to Nick here. We saw an end of turn fetch, and here's an end of turn Brainstorm, which costs 2, and for which he paid. Surgical among the cards. Lots of surgical action for Nick here. Snapcaster Mage and Force of Will as well. Where's the Coiling Oracle? I demand to see it. Say it's wrestling him.
I hope it's coming up soon. It might not be there with this Brainstorm. I think Nick is planning to... Oh, interesting.
Coiling Oracle, of course, a classic opposition card.
I feel like that's the first of the Simic three creature type cards.
Oh, really?
Of which there are like 8 million in this latest set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at this point.
So many.
Lizard Wizard.
Lizard Wizard is a sweet one.
Dude, I'm a big fan of the band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And I wish they could tie them in somehow. But okay, here we go. Back with yet another surgical extraction from Nick.
This is just a beating.
Nick is saying, bye-bye Crypt Breaker. Or, excuse me, that was Unmoored Ego.
Unmoored Ego, okay.
Bye-bye Crypt Breaker. Maybe that's the out Richard was hoping for to get under the Ensnaring Bridge.
Nick is really packing the hate today, too, between the Unmoored Egos and the Surgicals.
My goodness gracious.
And obviously just regular old counter magic against this deck.
And discard spells, Inquisition.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We haven't even seen him play the card opposition or anything like that.
No.
He's just been snapcasting like back really good hate spells.
Yeah. Here comes Richard with an Entomb.
Okay.
Probably find a Faithless Looting.
I wanna know what outs Richard's playing to right here.
Really unsure.
Chat talking about the Jellyfish Hydra. That card is currently making waves. Pun intended. It is very big player in Standard.
Nick looking at his phone here.
Yeah.
This is regular REL. So
is Nick pulling up a game? What are you doing? Nick?
I hope he sees this later. And here comes a flashback Faithless Looting for Richard.
All right. I mean, just
Unmask
dig,
and a
dig
land.
to a card we're not thinking of right here.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, there he is.
Well,
There's Leovold.
Leovold off the top.
Now we have something, kind of. The problem is that Richard's just sitting behind a 5/6.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's why Nick really needs opposition here,
Yeah. Baleful Strix, opposition.
right? Yeah, Strix would be a small but relevant clock.
Yeah. I'm not sure what else he's looking for. And we're really not sure what Richard's looking for. That's the question, right?
Exactly, yeah,
What does
yeah,
Richard
yeah.
know that we don't?
So he's looking at his yard. He still has the Kolagon in there. Oh, he has an Iona in his yard. That's interesting. Huh. So, does Iona do anything here? Other than like
Iona could conceivably force a draw.
right?
Of
Yeah, that's
this
it.
game.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
But
going to do
it
anything.
would just be a stalemate.
Yeah.
And that would be assuming...
That would be in Nick's favor because Nick is up one game.
Right.
So yeah, Richard's not really incentivized to do that kind of thing. Definitely not. Maybe Richard doesn't know what he's playing to. Maybe he's just having a good time.
We're on cam.
Yeah.
We're playing Legacy Magic.
Yeah, he's giving us the good content we want.
That's what
That's
it's all
for sure.
about, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is the we both reanimate something one.
Okay, Exhume.
And for Richard, this
something.
has to be the top card, right? Or is that the relevant one?
Yeah. It.
Oh. So how does this work with surgical? Do you know where if I surgical?
Oh no, this is not. This is
not the top card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. That's the other one. The one that Tin Fins uses. Yeah. Reanimate Phage. Ooh, that's a fun one.
Reanimate Phage.
So, I guess, so this is each player puts targets a creature and puts it in the battlefield?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we just had it.
No, excuse me. I believe it's chooses. Chooses, yeah.
Chooses a creature.
So
Okay,
when
okay.
this resolves,
Yeah.
that's when it happens. So,
So
that's
if you have
how...
two creatures.
Exactly, yeah.
you get around surgical. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how these decks got around Deathray Shaman.
Oh, sure.
Frequently.
Absolutely.
You load up your graveyard with a couple creatures instead of just one.
Ooh, Iona strands cards in hand to get over bridge. I actually like that. That's a pretty good line.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A. Zachary, 002. Nice line. I like it.
Yeah. Just
Getting
stick him with a bunch of blue cards.
But
And then
unfortunately,
crack for 7.
Iona is now gone. Bye-bye, Iona. And...
So now we still have... I think he's picking between Elishnorn and... yeah, all right.
Yep. There goes the Elishnorn, and there goes Noble Hierarch and
Yeah,
two Snapcaster Mages. Good line, A. Zachary. I like that. Iona to strand cards in Nick's hand to swing through for the win.
Yeah,
Pretty
otherwise
cool.
I just don't know how you're going to get through this bridge.
There is an Inquisition, and Nick will have a choice between 2 fetches and 1 unmask. Back to Richard, and Nick is still looking for an opposition specifically.
Maybe Richard just
Now.
thinks you could deck Nick. I don't know.
Lotus Petal the draw. 2 unmasked, 2 Bloodstained Mire, and 1 Lotus Petal in the hand of Richard
the
Saguin.
hard cast unmask. The good kind.
There goes the Force of Will. Bye-bye, Force.
All right, Baleful Strix. Here we go. Get that card draw.
Still looking for an opposition from Nick Ragazzo's deck. And on top of that, he needs to find more...
He needs to find an answer to Elishnorn.
Yeah, he needs to find an answer to
This
Elishnorn
is like,
or
what even
more
happens
3
here?
toughness.
How does this game end? What are they going to do?
Missed the Leo trigger. Good
Ooh,
eye
good
wrestling
point,
him.
everybody.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
an Animate Dead in.
It's getting weird. It's getting weird in here.
Animate Dead on Dragon Lord Kolagon.
Kolagon, yeah. Oh, so this is how he wins.
What? How?
I guess no. Well, he's basically restricting it so that Nick can't cast a spell that has the same name as a spell in his graveyard because Nick is at 8 life.
You're right.
Yeah, how did we miss that? Oh, just because we don't think about the card Dragon Kolagon all the
Dragon
time?
Lord Kolagon.
So now this is the ultimate stalemate. This is kind of amazing.
So it has to be a creature or planeswalker, okay?
Oh, okay.
So I believe it would be
that's
like
significantly
Baleful
worse than I
Strix,
thought.
Snapcaster Mage,
Yeah.
or Noble Hierarch are
So
the 3 options.
Nick needs creatures in play to work with opposition, which is
Yes.
presumably his best way to win the game.
Yes.
And now, if he casts most of the creature cards in his deck, he will just die.
Yes. Correct.
Amazing.
Yes. Richard attempting to resolve an unmask against Nick. Nick
This
with
is-
a surgical extraction hand. He just wants to pick something, I believe.
This is pretty beautiful. I'm
And
not gonna
we
lie.
also missed another
Ooh,
Leovold
ooh,
Emissary of Trust
ooh,
trigger.
ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah. Nick might be kicking the table a little bit next time he watches this, which I'm sure he does. He keeps up on his stats as a player, I think.
And yeah,
what
like
are we surgical in here?
we were talking about, that classic Dragon Lord Coligan.
Ooh. Yes, this is good.
Oh,
This is the good stuff.
Nick Ragazzo with the heads-up
This is the
play,
good stuff.
taking out Snapcaster Mage from his graveyard.
Yep.
Now he can cast a future
Yep.
Snapcaster Mage without
Very
losing
likely,
the game.
Very likely, without losing the game. That is a very snappy play from Nick Ragazzo, if I do say so myself.
Heads-up play from Nick Ragazzo. If you're watching this,
And
there
now he's
goes a
flustering.
Flusterstorm.
What is he flustering here?
The Unmask.
No, I didn't even. I forgot the rest. Okay, so yeah, so surgical response, Flusterstorm Unmask, because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe...
And now we still need to draw some sort of magic card. I think was that. Oh, okay.
All right, Lotus Petal for Richard. A couple Lotus Petals in hand.
Wow, that's a true name.
True
Nemesis?
name and an Assassin's Trophy.
An Assassin's Trophy. Okay.
Okay, so
We can actually
he could
kill the
Assassin's
anime
Trophy
dead.
something.
Yeah, Assassin's Trophy. The anime dead on Dragon Lord Coligan. Or Elishnorn.
Elishnorn, yeah.
Yeah,
And
which
then
lets him
play a true
slam
name.
True Name. Yeah.
Yep. Slam a jam of the true name, and Nick
And
is
then
not taking that choice here.
Yeah.
Looks like a Dark Ritual in
Then he just
hand,
has
some
to get
Lotus
back up to 3
Petals.
in hand, which shouldn't be too bad. All right.
There's another Leovold Emissary Trust. So Nick hasn't lost this game.
No, definitely
by any
not.
stretch. So
They put themselves in like a sort of like stalemate here. I'll be very interested to see
Faithless Looting
what
from
can
Richard.
happen out of this.
Oh,
Oh,
hold up. Can't
Leovold.
do that. Leovold.
Nick, we remembered the
Whoa.
Leovold.
Bloodstained Mire.
I think what's happening here a little bit is that Nick is probably...
Oh.
he has 4 cards in hand, so Elishnorn can crack.
Yeah, Richard swinging in for 4. Nick Ragazzo down to 4.
Yeah, this is now huge. I don't think Nick can win with True Name because he has to get up to 3 cards to attack.
Oh my goodness. Can't forget this Chancellor trigger. Not sure what he's going to play. Leo has
0 text. I'm
0
not sure what that is
text.
supposed to
Not
mean
sure.
in this instance.
Yeah. There goes an
All right, so
Assassin's
we're going
Trophy on the
after
Dragon
that.
Lord
Going after Dragon
Jamocha.
Lord Coligan.
Oh,
That means we
Coligan.
don't necessarily care about our creatures being in play.
Okay, here's a follow-up Snapcaster Mage,
Okay.
which should cost 3.
Oh, here we go. Assassin's Trophy. Oh, no. Okay. Surgical again. I thought he was going to Assassin's Trophy Elishnorn. And then try to slam the True Name.
And there's paying for the Snapcaster and for the Surgical. And gonna Surgical the Dragon Lord Coligan.
Okay. Interesting.
Pass back to Richard.
Still wondering how Nick gets this through an Elishnorn. Without, I guess just slamming this True Name. No, True Name dies. Yeah, he can't. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba. All right.
So Richard,
maybe another snap for trophy, I suppose. But I just don't think the Coligan. I guess Richard could just snap it right back up there.
so Nick now
Makes a lot
has
of
to
sense.
cycle one of these cards out of his hand. Just burn one of these cards from his hand. It's gonna be Thoughtseize. Got to pay 2 for that.
Yeah, this game is nutty. This is these players are both just like seizing the moment here. I love it.
There's a True Name, which
there's
is
True Name
gonna
that dies
immediately
automatically.
die to state-based effect.
And he's now, so Nick's just doing that to empty hands.
Right. Yeah, he had to churn through some cards. He's holding on a Force of Will.
Wow. I was really thinking True Name would be a good out. But I guess if you reanimate the Dragon Lord Coligan, no. You just don't cast a creature after that. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a Baleful Strix getting cycled for
Did we
Nick.
not get a card draw for that Baleful Strix?
Not sure why he didn't draw the card.
Yeah. Are they're just scooting along.
Pithing Needle out of Richard.
All right.
What are we naming? Jace the Mind Sculptor,
Great
likely.
question. Probably Jace. I don't think Nick. I don't think the card opposition has come up at all yet. So
No.
probably just think he's against bug control.
Right.
Except maybe game 1.
Looks like another Entomb for Richard was the draw. Not a bad draw.
Interesting.
Could do something here.
Nick's letting his spells get countered by the Chancellor.
Oh, playing TNN is loose because Richard could reanimate it.
Yeah,
Oh
I agree.
my,
I
wrestling
absolutely
him.
agree. That could happen right now. Richard's at a healthy 9.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Let's see.
Oh, Exhume.
Oh.
Exhume. What does Richard have in his graveyard?
This is a way for... Oh, no, Nick still can't put the... I keep forgetting about Elish North's
Nick does have a force of will in hand, however.
This is quite the game, y'all. This is quite the game.
Chancellor
so
of
many
the
creatures
Annex.
in
Nick,
both these yards, too.
Nick let this resolve. Chancellor of the Annex.
What is going on?
My. Folks at home, if you're watching this, we thought this game was over.
Yeah,
but
no.
these two players are
So
duking
now-
it out with the smallest of edges.
Yeah, now Nick is Surgical Clean again. I guess in response to this Chancellor?
I think he let the Exhume resolve.
Yeah. Did he not put any of his own... Oh, he can't put any of his own creatures in the battlefield. I'm stupid. Whew. Okay.
So
Yeah, wow.
just it looked like,
Like
8 or 9 cards. Eight cards left in the library
Yeah.
for Richard.
Yeah, Nick did break... Okay, thank you, Chad. I missed it. Nick brought a snap flashback to another Surgical Extraction.
Bye Entomb.
All right.
Now back to Nick on his turn. It's a land. That is a playable card.
Yeah, it looks like Richard's just playing to the draw here.
Oh, Richard drew top deck to animate dead.
Oh.
That
You don't say.
that could get that.
Does that target other players' graveyards?
Yeah, you can target in.
Oh.
Chancellor
I
of the
wonder if
Annex off
Richard
the
will
top.
see the line.
Animate TNN. I know.
We certainly know that came through.
That's what Richard needs to do.
Decking Richard one surgical at a time. I guess so, yeah.
This could be
That's the other thing.
a hard cast Chancellor of the Annex.
Oh, wow.
There it is. Don't see that too often,
Animate
huh?
Dead falls off true name? Ooh, how does that interaction work?
No, I don't believe it does.
Super weird.
I don't think it falls off.
Nick's true name would have protection from him, yeah.
Right.
And it's not his spell, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that part lines up.
Okay. Nick with the Brainstorm will cost 4 mana.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, didn't make him pay it. Okay.
Oh, he's just letting him... he just had it countered.
Oh, let it counter. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
he's just
Yeah,
letting
he doesn't want to
counter
draw.
for
Yeah.
bridge. Yeah. This is nutty.
So Richard needs to find an out in the last
Yeah, Nick is
3
trying,
cards of his
Nick
deck.
is trying to get to victory here by just having Richard deck himself.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Richard, does he have it in the last 2 cards of his library? Nick,
He's been holding this Force
card.
of Will and this Leo forever.
Richard extends a hand, and Nick Ragazzo is going to take Game 3 and Game 2 and the match. Big time round 1, folks. We thought it was over, but these players were playing to their outs.
What a match! That was a pleasure. Even though nothing really happened there, a lot happened.
A lot happened there.
Right? Yeah,
that was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Let's bring it back to the booth, folks. Michael
A lot
Tessier,
really did happen there.
Jake McCune.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to the booth, folks. If you are just tuning in, you are watching live Legacy action from Mock's Boarding House, Seattle. We just finished round 1, and that was a great matchup. We saw Black-Red Reanimator twice, actually, in that round.
Right, yeah. If you guys missed us, we had the technical difficulties at the beginning.
Yes.
There was Reanimator on camera.
Yes. If you're watching the VOD from the future,
Sweet.
make sure that I'm glad that you got past all the audio difficulties. So anyway, we are here now for you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you hit that follow button. We have a special treat for you folks. We are going to lay out the bug opposition deck list.
Yes.
So you can take a look at what Nick Ragazzo has brewed up here.
He has to prove to us that opposition is, in the deck.
Right, we didn't even see it. Here he goes. He's sorting through his deck. While we wait for that, let's bring it back to the booth again. Jake, we saw. I was letting our folks at home know we saw 2 1Ks this weekend, including that big time win from Josh Monks, like you said,
Indeed.
with Grixis Control. Big
Indeed.
time win out of Mike Kiesel, and he was on
Indeed.
Steel Stompy.
No, Turbo Depths.
Turbo.
Turbo Depths. Very
Depths.
fast. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Not slow depths.
No chalices, or no moxes, no chalices, just straight Lotus Petals and Hex
Turbo
Mages. And,
only. Elvish Spirit Guides.
Yeah, Elvish
oh
Spirit
my
Guides.
Goodness gracious.
He has his White Splash for sideboard Thalia. That's been his main thing as far as his build of the deck goes, as far as I know.
Nice. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a fun list to watch.
Yeah.
And then Josh dominating with Grixis Control all weekend.
Awesome.
Kind of also just not only proving his own self in that performance, but proving the performance of that deck just being like capable of taking on anything. I believe he said his record was 13-1 over the weekend. So
so good. So
play 14 games of Magic in a row and only lose one of them.
That's not bad.
I dare you.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty nutty.
I was telling the folks at home, I think that Grixis Control is underrepresented on Magic Online thanks to the presence of the match clock. Let's bring it down to our
here.
Oh, we don't have it laid out. We're just gonna talk to Nick here.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling asked Tessier, did you play and what? I did not play. I am already qualified for the Invitational, lucky me. But I did. If I were to play, I would have played Blue Red Delver with risk factors. So that would have been it. Folks, we're getting Nick Ragazzo in here, winner of round 1. Nick, congratulations on your round 1 win.
Appreciate it.
Skeptical about opposition being in this deck, man.
Okay, so
are there oppositions in the deck?
Yeah. Okay, so I boarded them out because against Black Red Reanimator, if they've already made their guy, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So in the main, I'm playing 2 Bitter Blossom, 4 Noble Hierarch. Then I'm playing 3 Snapcaster Mage, 4 Baleful Strix, and then just hateful bug cards.
Yeah.
You also get cool things like Vraska Golgari Queen. You also get
excuse me. Vraska Golgari Queen?
Yeah, so her +1 is you can sacrifice a permanent and then draw a card and gain a life.
Oh my goodness.
Her -2 is an Abrupt Decay, and then her ult at 9 turns all of your creatures into assassins.
Wow.
Yeah, so it combos really well with the whole cards like Bitter Blossom and
So is this a deck of your creation that you've been tinkering with, or did you start with something, or how did you find this?
Yeah, so it started out with Bug Opposition, where I was jamming Natural Order in it too for Progenitus.
Okay, got it.
And then I was sort of bouncing ideas off of Matt Saxon and Leo Zuckler, and
Brewmasters.
And the deck was pretty terrible, and so I cut a lot of the bad cards and then put in some of the better cards.
Nice.
And now we're here, and it's functioning pretty well. Part of it's just the fun of brewing, but
yeah, of course. And that's one of the cool things about playing here at Mock's Boarding House is that you really you come every single week. It's not like you're one shot at Legacy and you're going to play the tier 1 deck that you're great at. You can play stuff like Opposition and figure out, how do I make this work?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so cool. So good matchups, bad matchups for Opposition? What's your opinion?
I've been changing it up every night, sort of depending. But I found that Burn seems pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I swapped out some of the Thoughtseizes for IOKs, just because it seemed like I was actually just dying to my own Bitter Blossoms, and that's never a good look. So I think Burn's pretty bad. I think Elves is pretty bad. Yet to be seen on how Storm is. I know that they can grind through a lot of counter magic, and I'm only running 3 discard main and 4 force, so Storm's probably unfavored. But it's really just trying to prey on all the grindy control decks,
right?
Because I think I can just outgrind them with cards like Bitter Blossom and Leovold, and I also get to run an Edric, so.
Emissary of Trest.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
so
goodness.
you just make a bunch of dudes, and then if you attack with Bitter Blossoms, then all your fairies draw cards when you hit with them. So
yeah,
just
so cool.
Super grindy.
That's cool, man. You to play Edric.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
That is awesome. In Legacy.
Yeah.
Opposition. Edric. Coiling Oracle. You're living the dream, man.
Well, no Coiling Oracle.
No coiling.
No Coiling Oracle.
Oh, we thought we saw it in game 2, but no Coiling Oracle.
No.
Got it.
I think it was an Edric that you probably saw.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay. Edric, folks, you heard it here first. Beat those grindy matchups with Edric. If a grindy deck, Miracles or Grixis Control, really wanted to beat you, what would they be boarding in? Is Pithing Needle problematic?
Not particularly.
Okay.
So I beat him with a Jace ult in game one, and so I think that's why the Pithing Needle came in. But otherwise, Pithing Needle doesn't hit a whole lot. I think they would want to bring in Blood Moons because the deck's pretty weak to a Blood Moon.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise,
Nice.
I think other than that, they'd need a prayer.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Nick, great meta choice. Glad to see some bug opposition on the cam. And good luck in round 2.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks
Have
for
a good
coming.
one.
Yeah. All right, folks. So glad to have such a cool array of decks represented here tonight. Of course, you know we've got the whole gamut of decks always represented here. We've got some wild Red Moon Stompy sneak attack, mono red sneak attack deck here that comes on the regular. You just saw bug opposition. We got to see Black Red Reanimator square off against Sneak and Show, and who knows what else we're going to see tonight. But I have an idea that Jordan Isaka is actually playing a spicier take on his normal blue-white Stoneforge deck. So we'll have to see if we can get him on camera. And we will take a look at our pairings here, folks. Pairings. And get someone new under camera. I think I see who I'd like to get under camera. This could be a great one if we can get them on. Two titans of the legacy scene, and we'll see if we can get them on here. If you are just tuning in, you are watching round 1 of legacy action. Table 1, please. Yeah. You are watching round 1 of legacy action. Thank you for tuning in. We are about to get into round 2 live from Mock's Boarding House, Seattle. This is Michael Tessier, and I'm being joined in the booth by Jake McCune. MIA right now, but about to join us in a moment for round 2. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you hit that follow button because it lets us know that you appreciate what we do, and we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for tuning in week after week and watching Legacy Action. It's really our community, includes you, that brings this stream to life every single week. And we also stream on the weekends our 1Ks, like this past weekend. We streamed 2 1Ks each on Saturday and Sunday. You can check out those deck lists. I believe they're on MTG Top 8 if you're interested in seeing those. Thank you, Wrestling. Playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and watching fast matches are great. And the watching fast matches are great. Is Jordan playing good cards? Asked Wrestling. You know Jordan, he is playing bad cards that are white bordered. I hope that we can get him on cam so you can see just the extent of how bad of cards he's playing. Just think about the worst cards that you could conceivably put in a blue-white Stoneblade deck. And that is what he's playing tonight. Believe it, folks. And the watching. Oh, okay. And watching. Fast Masters are great. Thank you, Wrestler. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hey, we are about to get round 2 underway, and we are so excited to bring you all of this action. Thank you again for tuning in. Michael Tessier here in the booth with you. Jake McCune going to join me momentarily. And I wonder, what do you folks think is the best deck in Legacy right now, or best 2 decks? I'm going to type that in the chat. What are the best 2 decks in Legacy right now? Would love to hear your opinion. Write it in the chat box. What are the 2 best decks in Legacy right now?
Belcher.
Constantine says Belcher. I disagree. I think that Miracles is one of the top 2 best decks. And if we're talking Seattle meta, I'm thinking Grixis Control. However, we're talking like all metas. I think that the second best deck in Legacy right now is actually an underplayed deck. Grixis Delver. Yep. I think it's still got it. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Let's send it down to the match. On your left, we have Jeremy Edwards. And Jeremy, I believe, is playing Big Eldrazi.
Hello.
Welcome back. We've got Jake McCune in the booth, folks.
All
Jeremy on your left with Big Eldrazi, and of course on your right, none other than Matthew Saxon, whom I believe is playing Blue-Red Delver.
Oh yeah, nice. I just ran into Matt Saxon in the restroom. Turns out we were both running late.
So I love Blue-Red Delver. I think it's a great deck right now. Also, I asked folks in chat what they think the two best decks in Legacy are, and we have a few answer. I love bad cards, says Uosa.
Okay.
You should talk to Patrick Daly.
Absolutely.
Also Goblins from Siege Gang Commander.
Not-
a little impartial.
A little biased, yeah. Yeah.
a little partial, but that's cool. Rasslin says all Grixis decks Delver or Control and Miracles, basically Xerox. Yeah.
I more or less agree. I think Grixis, especially after the run that Josh and other, like even other players made, but mostly just like Josh tearing up with Grixis this weekend, I think it's pretty definitively king. A lot of people would put Miracles maybe right under it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess like I haven't really seen a lot of Grixis Delver decks recently in terms of like top lists performing and how the lists have settled.
Yeah.
But I think those two are probably the ones that would get pointed to the most: Grixis, Control, and Miracles. And yeah, as Raceland points out, these are both 4 Ponder, 4 Brainstorm decks, if not more.
Yeah.
So.
Turn 1 Candelabra of Tawnos from Jeremy Edwards.
Wow.
Off of that City of Traders. He's just going for it with the city.
Jeremy's
and he's going to
breaking it
untap
out.
his city and cast another turn 1 play. It's a Grim Monolith, folks. Jeremy Edwards going off on turn 1.
Pretty amazing.
Great start for him. And Matthew Saxon has nothing to say about it.
3 mana for Jeremy.
Ooh, Voltaic Key on turn 1.
Jeremy only has 3 cards left in hand.
Oh
what
my
is he gonna
goodness.
do?
Untap my Grim Monolith. I have 4 mana now.
Oh.
What am I going to play? It is a Thran Dynamo. Jeremy is completely going off the hinges, folks. There's a Thran Dynamo. Unreal amount of mana in play for Jeremy Edwards. Back to Matthew Saxon.
He's just going to cast what? Like Ulamog next turn? This is nuts.
Let's see what he can cast. He can have
welcome to Vintage, folks.
3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana next turn, I believe.
So maybe he does. Maybe he just kept turn 2 Ulamog the hand.
Excuse me, I'm a little off. Grim Monolith doesn't untap, so...
sure.
Yeah.
But he has the key, and so the key, he needs 2 untapped Grim Monoliths, I see, to make that much mana.
But Matthew Saxon with the turn 1 Delver, not a bad play.
Not a bad play.
He's also holding on to 2 Dazes and 1 Force of Will.
Now, you say you're a Blue-Red Delver fan. Is that right, Mike?
Love Blue-Red Delver.
All right,
Love that
so
deck.
I have some good news for you about Matthew Saxon's Blue-Red Delver deck. We have some new cards on the alert here.
Yes.
Matthew Saxon is playing the Blue Stalker, as I like to call it. The Thin Lizzie, as I like to call it. The Terramander.
Terramander.
I think it's Terromander. It's also not in our. It's totally.
Oh, not in it. Not in it. Yeah,
totally
that's right.
Not in our picker yet.
It's a 1/1 blue flyer for 1 blue.
For 1 blue. It has adapt 4, turning it into a 5/5 flyer. Adapt 4 for 7 and a blue. So 8 mana to put 4 +1/+1 counters. However, as WotC loves to keep flirting with reduced mana costs, this ability costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. So if you have 7 instants or sorceries, it only costs 1 blue mana, making it blue for a 5/5 flyer.
We've seen that before.
Exactly.
That's a Tombstalker, baby.
That's a Tombstalker, baby.
But it's blue.
Oh
my.
You can pitch it to Force of Will. You also can put it down for 1 mana, and you can wait to spend the other mana to try to pop it, which makes it a slightly more vulnerable to sun removal. But when you're playing all your tempo and counter spells, that tends to not be the issue you're worried about.
Catching us up on the action, we saw Jeremy Edwards play Reality Smasher and swing in against Matthew Saxon. He responded with a Vapor Snag and pitched a Mountain in order to play it, targeting that Reality Smasher. Now Jeremy Edwards is just passing back. He's got an untapped Grim Monolith. And there's a Chain Lightning off the top. Matthew Saxon's going to get to flip this Delver of Secrets into a 3-2. I really hope we see Terramander tonight.
Me too. Now, why do you think Jeremy didn't? Oh, never mind.
A swing
Jeremy
in
playing
for
around
3.
the possible days of. Oh no. I wonder why he just didn't slam Reality Smasher again.
Yeah, no, he was playing around days. You're right.
Okay.
Yep, he didn't have enough mana. Here comes
now he-
5
now he
mana with this Voltaic Key.
Now we can get up there. Oh.
And there's
Mr.
1 mana
Thought-Not Seer.
floating. Thought-Not Seer is the play. Cast Trigger, sir.
That's no fun. Plays right through the days as well. I think Matthew's going to have no choice. Can't cast that Chain Lightning. Yeah, we're going to force. And the pitch will be a daze.
Okay, there it is.
19 to 15.
Terramander is probably terrible in, excuse me.
In tempo strategies.
Excuse me, Raslinim. I think you meant tempo
Hey,
strategies.
thank you. Yeah, if you're going to go in, it's go whole hog.
All right.
No half
Reality
measures.
Smasher in play for Jeremy, and with the swing in.
Yep.
Back to Matthew Saxon.
Matthew down to 19, but not incapable of racing here, as he does have the 3-power flyer and 6 damage in hand in the form of a lightning bolt and a
Now,
chain lightning.
how do you like drawing another card and trying to use your 2 bolts on that Smasher?
Oh. Now, I think that might be what he has to line up here if he doesn't find an answer, a more effective answer on his next draw, which I don't know what it is.
Right.
It's such a huge investment, but Jeremy isn't going to be able to counter it at all. So
Right. At this point, I think the 2 bolts win
Yeah.
Matthew the race.
Yeah.
Without doing it on the Reality Smasher. However, if Jeremy top decks another Smasher,
exactly, it's
could be
slightly
problematic.
slower, slightly safer.
Right. And Matthew needs to make the choice now because he has got a Sorcery Speed Chain Lightning in
Yes,
hand.
absolutely.
And he's going to choose to dodge the Reality Smasher off the top. Here comes an activation of... Okay, just making a waste.
Yeah, I believe he's just copying his Thespian
Just a
stage
waste.
into a waste.
Yep. Okay. Big time draw for Jeremy here. He needs an Ulamog or a Reality Smasher.
He has a couple creatures that would be good, but it doesn't look like he got
No
any
Reality
of them.
Smasher. Swing in for 5. Matthew Saxon down to 4, and he's got 6 points of burn in hand.
Ooh.
There's a Glimmer Post.
Yeah, but nothing else to go along with it.
Oh, Jeremy, in response to the trigger, is going to create another Glimmer Post, so now he's going to gain 2 life.
Wow.
Excellent play by Jeremy.
Very nice.
Wow, that gets him just out of bolt range. Matthew Saxon living off the top.
Yeah, and now he really might have to dump these bolts into the Smasher.
I think
otherwise he's just dead.
I think you're right. And he's going to have to burn 2 cards in order to do it, too.
4. He has to discard, right?
Right, yep. So 4 total. And back to Jeremy. No, so he's going to use just the Lightning Bolt and block with the Delver, which is very surprising.
Yeah, that seems strange, especially with Trample. I mean, no, that's going to get over with Trample, right?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to see
what's happening here?
3 points of damage come through, so Matthews is going to go down to 1.
Yeah.
There's that bolt, and now Matthew's going to pitch a card. It's going to be the Scalding Tarn.
Okay.
Reality Smasher is going to...
So yeah, they're doing the math.
Yep, trample over.
Interesting.
Matthew Saxon down to 1. These fetch lands are dead. He has 1 volcanic island in play, and he has to stitch together a win from that 1 volcanic island.
I definitely don't like this position. I think our double bolt line may have been a little safer here.
I think so too.
I'm not sure.
So we got 5, 6, 7, 8 mana for Jeremy, and
he's tutoring? Oh. Where is he tutoring this ballista from?
Oh, he's got to show the show the card. Oh, Ayavugan. Okay.
Come on.
All right, we've got 1 floating. We've got 1 floating. And Matthew Saxon's going to pack it up because, of course, Jeremy can just cast that Walking Ballista and
Yep. Jeremy up
Matthew Saxon.
1-0 against Matthew Saxon here.
Good first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty. We got both players got to take several turns, develop boards, interact with each other just a little bit.
Right.
Um,
With that Eye of Ugin in hand for Jeremy, I believe Matthew, even if he took that double bolt line, would still... Not sure, actually. Might still be dead to a huge Walking Ballista, right?
sure.
And
I don't think
an
he was
8-mana Walking
getting.
Ballista.
I think he had Jeremy on a 4-turn clock after the life gain. So if he were to have
Yep.
killed and cracked in, he would have. Jeremy would have had at least 2 more turns.
That's right. Yep. And that would have been enough to get the lethal Walking Ballista.
Yeah, I think the thing about these big Eldrazi decks is that, like, you know, they're non-blue decks. They play big dumb cards. They ramp a lot, but the Eye of Ugin gives them so much late game inevitability. So that's
Amazing card.
that's just sort of the cash in you exchange for card selection and card advantage. Is that, like, at the end game, once you have 10 mana, you can go get any big nasty creature you want that's a 1-of out of your deck, and just trounce your opponent.
Yeah.
Or just another Reality Smasher often. It's pretty good.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, you are watching weekly live Legacy action from Mock's Boarding House, Seattle. We're watching round 2, in which Jeremy Edwards has just taken game 1, playing Big Eldrazi against the Blue-Red Delver deck of Matthew Saxon, a deck he's been playing frequently.
Yeah, Matt Saxon, also an Infect player. Another tempo-y blue-based strategy in this format. Done a lot of work with that deck. It seems to have switched over to blue-red just because they got some new stuff recently.
Yeah.
In the Terramander, as well as potentially, although probably not in blue-red, light up the stage.
Oh,
the interesting draw to for red.
Yeah,
for
of
1
course.
red.
Matthew, and we've seen Chart of Course make a cameo appearance in Blue-Red Delvers of the past, but did not stick.
Okay.
We've seen Cryptic Serpent make a cameo appearance in Blue-Red Delvers of the past and not stick. We'll see if Terramander is a little different. Matthew Saxon is playing 2 copies of Goblin Cratermaker in his main deck.
I do like that card a lot.
I love that card in this deck. I think it's an excellent card. Criminally underplayed.
Absolutely. Covers a lot of ground and also just attacks for 2. Nothing wrong with that.
How do you like game 2 here for Matthew? He can board in some Artifact Hate. Does he have a little more oomph in this match?
I believe so. You know, I think Smash to Smithereens comes in if they have that in the board. I'm not entirely familiar with, like, more recent Blue-Red Delver, like, lists or sideboards, but Smash is definitely the big one that comes in this matchup for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like Matthew does have Smash. He might have Shattering Spree. Unlikely. If he has Smash. And there's an Eye of Ugin turn 1 for Jeremy, and that was a turn 1 Delver from Matthew. Now it's getting flipped. A 3-2 Delver on the side of Matthew and a Force of Will in hand.
Yes, and I believe he just has a Ponder and a bunch of other... Oh, wait, no, those are 2 Brainstorms, too. So he has multiple cantrips, I believe.
Are you firing off a Ponder here? Or?
I think so, right?
There it is.
It's your only land in hand. You definitely want to make your land drop on turn 2.
No land in the top 3. Vapor Snag and a Force of Will among the cards.
Yeah, those aren't bad ones to be having in your hand.
Sure.
But if you have a Flip Delver, maybe he just tries to hide behind this Snag and the double Force of Will.
It's possible.
I mean, that's a lot of interaction. On you know, if you're just swinging for 3 every turn and keeping Jeremy off, that is tempo, right?
Like, yeah. And it looks like Matthew is considering it. Not sure if he's going to keep this or shuffle it away. That's a tough call.
Yeah. I mean, I'm no Delver ace. I think Matthew is definitely trying to tank on these lines. It is not an obvious Ponder.
Sure.
As they sometimes say about the immediate shuffles, right?
I think with a Smash in hand, there are better 3 cards that I can get. I am going for a shuffle.
All right.
Because I want red mana. But that Matthew's keeping it.
Yeah, Matthew's keeping it. He feels fairly confident, and he does have the Brainstorms to dig a little bit deeper. So we'll say that, right?
Yeah.
He's going to draw the next card off the top. He's going to get 2 more looks next turn. Yeah, you know, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, City of Traders from Jeremy Edwards, and there's a Chalice of the Void. Big time play, and Matthew Saxon has to burn a Force of Will immediately on that.
I think...
And he's going to choose that Brainstorm. He could have dazed here.
Yeah, he could have. I think that might have been better.
Yeah, he might have missed that opportunity.
Didn't because Jeremy has the untapped Eldrazi or Ugin.
Yeah, it might have been a little
sometimes
obscured.
You just fall on like instincts and muscle, you know, sight memory. Your opponent has an untapped land and they're playing something. You're like, I can't daze, you know.
Yeah, interesting.
Psychological aspects of that can come in sometimes.
It might have just appeared a little different you know, in that split second when you make that choice. And here's the City
Absolutely.
of Traders and an Eldrazi Temple follow-up from Jeremy Andrews. He can cast a 6-mana Eldrazi here, and it's going to be Thought Not Seer. Not even have to tap this Eldrazi Temple. Here comes another Force of Will, fired off
Force
immediately.
number 2, yeah.
There goes the daze.
And this is what we talked about, except Jeremy is bringing these threats way fast.
Pass the turn to Matthew, and he's not going to end a turn Brainstorm. Instead, he's going to take the draw. It's a Chain Lightning. Bad draw for Matthew. Here comes in. He comes in for 3. Jeremy Edwards down to 11, and no main phase Brainstorm out of Matthew Saxon.
He's holding up the snag. He really wants that. He really wants to snag whatever threat Jeremy might come down here. But this is going to put him so far behind the next few turns, I feel like.
I think he needed to main phase that Brainstorm, look for a land, and try to get going with the other cards in his hand. Right now, he's really choking himself, almost as if Rishadon porting himself every turn. Here's a Reality Smasher from Jeremy Edwards.
So this is lining up with what Matthew thought was going to happen. We'll see if the line ends up working out. He has to pitch another card, so he's going to have to pitch a Lightning Bolt. And I think that other one, is that a smash in his hand, or is that a New Art Goblin?
It's a smash.
It's a smash, okay. It's a smash.
Matthew going to go ahead and take the 3. And there is a land off the top.
Okay.
Delver of Secrets on untapped. He's got 6 points of damage in hand.
Yeah.
And right wrestling him, he could have daze there. I don't believe he had a daze in hand, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Matthew has to make a choice here. I really think Matthew needed to save tempo and Vapor Snag on that last turn, because he's now spent 3 turns not using that island.
Yep.
Not being very mana efficient. Brainstorm the play, though, and let's see how he digs himself out of this.
I think he might just leave up a fetch here and Vapor Snag.
Pithing Needle among the cards, probably hoping to name Ayavugan. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, that could be a really good sealant to victory here, kind of assuring that Jeremy doesn't get a turn corner. If Jeremy continues to gain life off of his other lands, he might be able to, leverage that into the late game.
Right, multiple Glimmer Posts could be dangerous for Matthew here, just pulling Jeremy right out of reach.
Yeah, so it's like Matthew's just doing this mental race math in his head, I think, about how he wants these next few turns to play out.
Matthew considering this Brainstorm. He's got to put 2 back, but he's got that fetch land, considering one of them. And he also has a Scalding Tarn.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So it could be fetch land and red card. Not sure which one it is. There goes a Delver.
This fetch is awkward. Yeah, totally. He kind of wants, I think, some number of all of these cards, but he also needs to play a land.
Yep, that's fetch land Delver going back.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. The Delver is a little more of a time investment and not a guarantee when you don't have the rest of the setups. Yep, there's wrestling him. Thank you.
So Matthew has to consider now if he's fetching and what he's fetching for. Swing for 3, Jeremy down to 9. Going to pass the turn.
All right. So now he can fetch and Vapor Snag if he so desires, or he can just take another 5 because I don't think he's in that dire of a threat. If he goes to 8 here.
Reality Smasher in for 5, and Matthew, like you mentioned, has a choice.
Yep. He's going for Bolt Line.
Yeah, I think that he's hoping Jeremy sticks out an artifact here that he can smash.
Absolutely.
And he's going to bolt at end of turn, but actually he's going to go for the Vapor Snag instead.
Well, Vapor Snag puts Jeremy to 8, so it still helps. And then he has, then he just has any top deck burn in his deck as an out.
Yeah. Or hoping that Jeremy sticks out an artifact.
Yeah.
Which is there's a high likelihood.
For sure.
Price of Progress. Yeah, where is Price of Progress? Vapor Snag the play from Matthew. Reality Smasher trigger. What are you pitching there, Matthew? It's got to be that Pithing Needle.
It's got to be.
It's going to be a Chain Lightning.
Okay, I think Delver is the lightning bolt here, right? And so Matthew's trying to prioritize just making sure that this Delver doesn't die to, like, let's say a Walking Ballista that Jeremy tutors up with Ayavugan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. Grimmon off the play for Jeremy. Pass back to Matthew Saxon.
Getting pretty rewarded here.
Swing in for 3. Jeremy down to 5. Here comes that Smash the Smithereens on this Grim Monolith. Jeremy will have no response.
That is such a weird. Is that like a promo?
Yeah, that's a promo. F&M promo.
Because
Smash.
it's got the foil stamp.
Jeremy down to 2. Now needs to find a Glimmer Void,
Yeah.
Glimmer Post, or an answer to Delver's
Yeah,
Secrets.
I can't activate and cast anything like that. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think this is going to be game 2 for Matthew right here. Jeremy is one to sit here and confirm his outs.
Eldrazi Temple from Jeremy. I suppose an Ulamog could do it. I'm not sure if he has enough. 6, 7, 8, 9. Not enough.
What is he?
If it's Walking Ballista, he would have slammed it. I think immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it would have been just enough for Walking Ballista.
So this is 2 mana.
Grim Monolith.
Grim Monolith. Now we have potentially 7 for Eldrazi spells, or 8 for Eldrazi spells. And
Matthew Saxon might just
4,
eke
5,
out this
just
one.
6 for other stuff. Come on.
There is 3 floating. 5, 6, 7.
Oh boy.
And it could be,
8.
there's 8.
Oh, wow.
Ulamog, Ceaseless Hunger. 8,
The
9.
Butcher. Yeah, I
Oh,
agree, Andy.
excuse me, Kozilek, yeah.
I think if you weren't gonna slam the needle that turn, and not that it would have mattered here.
Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. Cost 10. We didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, we did not.
When you play it, draw 4 cards. Unfortunately, this is not going to save Jeremy Edwards.
Oh, you know what? That's a pretty good point. Kozilek doesn't have flying.
No, this drew Jeremy 4 cards that he can't cast.
Yeah.
Jeremy packs it up,
Never
and
mind.
Matthew Saxon's going to take game 2 here. We're tied up, folks, and we're going to a game 3. That's right. Blue Red Delver eking out that win against Big Eldrazi.
Yeah.
And if Jeremy had not played that Grim Monolith, whoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think?
Like, he had 2 ultimately as well, right?
Yep.
He played the other one afterwards.
Yep.
And so,
Hard to see. Hard to
I just
see
feel like
playing
if you're
around
going
a
to
Smash
keep
of
the
Smithereens.
3 points of burn, keep the other 3 points of burn. And if you're going to pitch some 3 points of burn, don't pitch the smash. Pitch the one that you can actually, or don't pitch the bolt. Pitch the one that you can't, in theory, cast until Jeremy presents an artifact. But that
Sure.
was, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But ultimately, it ended up not mattering.
Yeah.
Delver is the ultimate lightning bolt, and it casts itself every single turn for 3 damage in the air.
Yeah, you just have it. It has suspend 7, win the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Suspend 7. Win the game.
If no one gets rid of this card, the game is won. That's Delver.
All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. We're about to watch Game 3 of Round 2. Jeremy Edwards playing Big Eldrazi against Matthew Saxon on Blue Red Delver. Matthew, just won Game 2.
Yep. I'm always happy when we get a tie-up. Going to go into a Game 3. It'll be extremely nice to watch a full match of Magic here. Not just see certain players.
Would be great to see some Terramander action.
I know. I want to see some Terramander. I want to get terrorized, as they say.
Terrorized.
Colin, we're gonna have to call Matthew Saxon the terrorist around here if this deck picks up. But that said, people are saying that this might be a tempo loss.
Matthew Saxon.
Did I play at 1K, and what wood did I play? I played D&T yesterday, and I went 0-3 drop, so that's how my day went. I lost in 3 to Lands and to Maverick and to Burn. All of them matches in 3. Fun games. Legacy'd out.
Matthew Saxon took a look at his opening 7 and shipped it back immediately. I believe there was no creature there.
Yeah.
So had to go for that that mulligan there. 0-3 drop sounds fun. Was it fun?
Lost that special fee. Here's the thing. There is a fun aspect to 0-3 drop when we are in Ballard. And that is that we are nearby a bunch of delicious food, and we are also nearby a shop called Hood Famous Bakery that makes these purple ube, the purple potato that is often used in a lot of Filipino cooking. They make sugar cookies. So whenever I drop out of these Magic events,
you just go eat ube.
I just go get half a dozen ube sugar cookies, and I'm good to go. And if you do well,
Uh-huh.
they're closed. So you have to scrub out to get these cookies.
Oh.
They're very special.
No choice.
Yeah. If
You know,
if you do well, like you can't run over to the bakery before they close.
Oh
you don't
my
have time.
goodness! You know, this is a pro tip because I would have just gone to salt and straw, like
It's not bad.
auto salt
I'm
and
telling
straw.
you, it's not bad.
But I love the idea of an
yeah,
ube cookie.
and they're often warm, like right out of the oven when you get them.
Oh my goodness!
Very good. They also have cheesecakes.
Yeah.
If you dig that kind of thing, you can get heck of many cheesecakes. So anyone in town at our lovely Mox Boarding House Ballard location, you need only walk a few blocks away.
Do you ever have a puto leche?
No. Puto leche? No.
Puto leche. They do it all different flavors. There's a puto leche with ube. It's like an ube cupcake muffin with egg custard on the bottom.
Oh, I do. Okay. I've seen these. I don't think I've had them.
Yeah. Okay. We're veering off the legacy, but this is important stuff too, folks.
Yeah. This is how we kill time. These players aren't playing yet. We got like 2 more seconds till they start.
Matthew Saxon mulligan all the way down to 5, but does have a great 5. I see a Delver, a Spell Pierce, and 2 pieces of Burn, and now a top deck Force of Will.
Yeah.
He just needed a daze there to make it really good. But here comes a Volcanic Island off of this Flooded Strand Fetchland. It was a turn 1 Cloud Post from Jeremy Edwards.
Cookies greater than Legacy. Hard to argue with that, man. They're really delicious.
You know,
I'm thinking
all
about
have
them now. I got 2
priorities
more
in
left
life.
back home. I bought 6 yesterday. I have 2 left. These lands and price, and he is set. Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Cloud Post untap. There
is the
is
race.
a Vesuva copying Cloud Post, so Jeremy will have access to at least 4 mana next turn. Delver of Secrets, will it flip? We've gotten 2 blind flips already, and here's a third from Matthew Saxon, just the king of the blind flips. Spell Pierce on that one, and the jig is up, I guess. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's the...
And that was a Ponder, too, right?
Oh, Ponder, excuse me, yeah.
Oh, so that's even better, because
Yeah.
now Matthew's going to be able to find his next land and then start burning
Unreal.
away.
Great mold of 5 from Matthew Saxon, and I think he needs to fire off this Ponder. No choice. No
Yeah,
choice.
why? What are you leaving behind here? Is he have a spell pierce? Oh,
He has Spell Pierce.
Oh, you know,
Might be holding up for Fran Dynamo?
because spell pierce casts non-creature, so yeah, I actually don't know exactly what you're hitting this next turn.
Yeah, he has to auto-cast this Ponder, but instead Jeremy Edwards is going to get to untap. Here it goes.
Okay,
Glimmer Post.
that's a lot.
We've got 7 mana, boys.
Yeah, everything's
For these 2
3.
boys. Trinisphere!
Yeah,
Trinisphere!
Spell pierce this. Yeah,
From
see,
Jeremy Edwards. What? A Haymaker.
This is such a max punish here.
Unreal Haymaker.
I would just get rid of the spell pierce immediately.
Gotta dump
Yeah,
it.
you have to. You have to.
Here comes a Force of
You
Will.
can't do anything else.
Spell Pierce,
but this,
bye-bye.
But exactly this, yeah.
It's a blue card with no text on it.
Uh-uh.
Okay, Matthew Saxon down to 18 off the fetch and the Force of Will. Trinisphere has been forced, but Jeremy Edwards, follow-up play. Thought not seer, folks.
Yikes.
Unreal plays from Jeremy Edwards.
Yikes.
He just has the haymakers.
Yeah, this is
He has the haymakers.
we looked at Matthew's hand and we were filled with
Optimism.
hope times 3.
Yeah.
And all the bolts and delvers that he had going on. But Trinisphere and Thought Not Seer are definitely 2 magic cards you should not be able to play in the same turn on your 3rd turn of the game. I'm just going to say that.
Pretty good. Swing in for 3. Jeremy Edwards down to 14, but sitting with a Thought Not Seer in play.
That is maybe not magic as Richard Garfield intended.
Well, he did print Black Lotus.
It's true. Hey, you're not wrong.
He didn't print Thought Not
Black
Seer,
Lotus
though.
does cast turn 1 Thought Not Seer, so big brain there.
All right. We're a
it
second
doesn't.
Thought Not
Never mind.
Seer
You need
from Matthew Saxon.
You need a waste.
For Jeremy Edwards.
What if you waste Lotus and then yeah, that's like the biggest waste of a Black Lotus.
Oh my goodness, Jeremy going off.
Yeah.
Gonna cast
Wow.
a Reality Smasher.
Wow,
and this is a 9-point swing. Matthew Saxon down to 9. Up against
And
the
he needs
wall.
Back-to-back price of progress. I think that's even too slow at this point.
It is.
Oh, the turn after that. Yeah.
It is. Unbelievable.
Yeah, everything's too slow. This is colorless bird.
There's the Terramander making its debut here, folks, on Mox Boarding House Seattle's live legacy action. We're seeing the first Terramander played. This is a 1/1
Got him.
flying man for blue.
And
but you can buff it
unfortunately-
up to a 5/5. It's not going to do anything in
Yeah,
this situation.
It has nothing.
Not a great showing for Terramander.
Yep, not a great showing at all. He cast. He passed with 1 mana up and didn't cast the Ponder, I believe.
Wow.
Not that it super matters here.
Back to Jeremy, and there's
Hey,
a walking ballista.
You look at Matt. You see Matthew's shirt.
Yeah.
That's his face right now.
Yeah.
That's what he feels like.
And the handshake from Matthew Saxon. Jeremy Edwards is going to take game 3 and the match. Big Eldrazi over Blue-Red Delver.
All right.
Wow.
Folks.
Jeremy just brought the hammer. Matthew Saxon's reality has been smashed.
Do you want to see if anyone else wants to play?
Let's.
Yeah,
we're going to
see
try to
if we can
find
do a
one
backup
more
match.
match
I
for
do
you folks.
believe- I
We've
mean,
got 20
we're
minutes
about
left
halfway
in the
through the
round.
round, so.
Let's bring it back to the booth while we find that second match. Michael Tessier.
Hey, everybody.
Jake McCune. Thanks you so much for joining us here today. We just watched an awesome match 1 of round 2. We've got 2 more rounds of Legacy action to bring you at least, and we're looking for another match for you right
Yeah.
now.
20 minutes is a lot of time, but I'll also say that after the double up weekend, it's a light night. So
Light night.
totally possible that everyone's just playing already and we can't move them over to camera. Any good? Everyone's
Okay.
playing? Okay. No, hey, no, not a big deal. We can
So-
certainly sit and chat.
No matches to be had, unfortunately, but we get to bring you all the Legacy content all night long, folks. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get alerted when we go live. And you get to know when we do our Monday Night Legacy every single Monday, live from Mock's Boarding House, Seattle. Thursdays, we do Modern Action.
Correct.
From Mock's Boarding House,
Yes.
Bellevue.
Yes.
And then occasionally on the weekends, we've got stuff like Legacy 1Ks. We had a doubleheader Legacy 1K this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, back to back. You can also check out.
Hopefully you guys check that out. Hopefully you guys check out the VODs.
VODs available.
Those are available. So look at all of the. We covered. Each day we covered 7, 8, 9. We covered 20 rounds of Legacy this weekend in total.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 10
That
rounds
is
each day.
a lot
7
of
plus
Legacy.
top 8. So all of that we got a match on camera, at least one every round. Myself and a bunch of other cats are commentating. Myself and Dan Nguyen on the thank you so much.
Yeah. Big time. Big time weekend. And you can also check out stuff like we do Pauper events, Rags to Riches. We do modern no ban list events. If there's Magic that you like, we probably stream it. We do Legacy, we do Modern no ban list. Thank you for tuning in. Every single week, Monday night, Legacy. Would love to know in chat, let us know over here in chat, where are you watching from tonight? We are watching from good old Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, Seattle, Ballard neighborhood, Card Kingdom store. I'm sorry, Mock's Boarding House, Ballard store.
Yep. Yeah. Tell us, let us know from where you're watching. We always love to hear from where you're watching. Oh man.
Ooh, Cambridge, UK, Brazil, Germany. Oh, whoa. Braceletham's watching from his living room. That's incredible.
From living room. Wow. Quebec City. Thank you so much. Watching from Jake's apartment.
Dun dun dun. Josh is my roommate.
Hey man, if you eat a hamburger live, gonna be amazing. I come from Brazil.
If you, I had a hamburger.
I don't
earlier,
have a hamburger.
so that's way too bad.
I've got the leftover parts of this sandwich. And
if you're from Seattle, you might know what this represents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Dick's Possessive, DICK''S.
Yeah.
Hamburgers.
Yep. Always wrapped
Seattle
in
institution.
The cheeseburgers come in the yellow.
Used to take only cash.
Yeah.
Up to the last year.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So many different things have changed. You can get plain now. Did you see they added a plain option to the menu?
I can't believe it. They used to. So the thing with Dick's is that you can't get any adjustments to the burgers except now they're letting you do adjustments.
Yeah. It's like they're not even technically adjustments. They're separate menu items.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not actually going and wiping ketchup and mustard. They just they caved to enough people asking for no ketchup and mustard.
We're gonna play a Fonzie on the screen.
Yeah. Unreal. All right, we are watching from
Okay. Who's the other player?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
We're gonna get Lee and Jim playing an exhibition match with each other's decks.
Nice. Okay.
So it'll be
We'll bring that under cam for you.
Jim on Eldrazi aggro and Lee on lands.
Okay.
I believe.
Where's the stream? We're streaming live from Seattle, Washington, in the Ballard neighborhood, Mock's Boarding House, Ballard. If you need anything like singles from the new set or supplies, you can check out CardKingdom.com. That is the store that represents us. Let's bring it down to our exhibition match,
all right,
folks, right there. Yeah, and I'm sorry, you said that James and Lee are playing each other's decks.
Yeah, and these are both just local dudes that have been playing for a while. Lee is from Australia originally. I believe he does a bit of an event organizing down there.
Let's see. We are also watching from Las Vegas, Maine, and from Mikey's apartment. Thank you very much, Turtle Twinkle. Also Raleigh, North Carolina. Man, 2 Raleigh folks.
Oh, wow. Go
Do you
find
know each other? Play some Legacy together in Raleigh.
Yeah, very cool that we get all the Legacy out here. I have my Foil Pterodactyl and Jelly Hydra on the way.
Nice.
Jelly Hydra is a pretty nutty card. I don't know if you've seen that that card yet.
Yeah,
Hydroid
Krasis.
This is Krasis.
Jim Huang, Lee Win, duking it out.
Yeah.
This is an exhibition match, folks. This isn't.
Yeah, both these
for any
players have just
marbles.
finished early in the round, and they just decided to play each other's decks on stream for fun. So we are going to see what it's like. Imagine you're 2 rounds into a tournament and you have to swap decks with somebody and play them instead.
That sounds like a Hearthstone brawl.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's actually a thing with Keyforge. They have a format where you bring what you think is your worst deck and you give it to your opponent. Dude, there's Josh in the chat. That's the Keyforge format, yeah.
How dope is Keyforge, though?
It's pretty sweet. I need to play more of it.
Goodness.
It's pretty sweet. I've been enjoying learning it.
That is such a cool game. If you guys haven't checked out Keyforge, check it out. You can also buy that on CardKingdom.com. And here's a turn 1 Tabernacle and Mox Diamond from Lee Win.
All right. Lee going to decide to pitch the Dark Depths instead of the Wasteland there. And this is so fun. Okay, nothing.
There's also a format in Keyforge that's best of 3, but game 3 you play with your opponent's
That
deck.
is also sweet. That would be super sweet in Legacy.
That is unreal.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So you just play the most convoluted deck that only you know how to play.
Maybe?
Right? Isn't that the play?
Or
Isn't that the meta?
I don't know, because maybe you want to lose and then beat your opponent with their deck. Yeah,
well, you still want to just win.
Yeah, you still just want to win. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you play a good deck that's very challenging to play.
I guess, yeah, you play a good deck that's technically hard.
Ancient Tomb, the play from Jim, and Thorn of Amethyst. Lee Win is going to play a Wasteland and pass. So Wasteland and Mox Diamond in play for Lee Win, and no turn to play otherwise.
Yeah, and Thorn of Amethyst not really doing much against the deck that typically runs Thorn in its sideboard.
4 mana available for Jim, but really only 3 because there's Thorn.
Oh,
pitch a Spirit Guide. There's a Chalice on 2. Unreal. Jim knows how to play against his own deck.
Yeah.
He knows to put the Chalice on 2.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'm sure he may have faced down a Chalice or 2 in the course of playing lands over the last few weeks.
So cool. Lee doesn't know what to do with himself. Can't play around this Thorn, Lee. Oh, he might go for a crop
rotation here, but I'm not sure.
Wow.
Oh, no, he might just be firing off a Punishing Fire just because?
He can't because there's that Thorn in play.
Oh, you're right. Wow.
Lee.
Pretty incredible Chalice there.
No choice. I think he wanted to save some mana and go for that crop rotation.
And there's the Dark Depths. And now Lee should be pretty set up, right? That was a pretty good top deck. Lee pitched that Dark Depths earlier with the crop, knowing he had the crop rotation. I think probably because he also has a loam or something like that.
So I
didn't see that card in his hand, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. He can crop rotation this Tabernacle and get a Thespian stage, and then next turn, he's got a 20/20.
Yep.
All right. Man. Back to Jim. folks, this is an exhibition match in our round 2 of Weekly Legacy Action. Thank you for joining us, Michael Tessier and Jake McCookies in the chat.
Bringing you the action live from a game store. I hear 2020s are good. That's not till next year, so I don't. We gotta wait.
Oh gosh,
I think it's gonna be pretty crazy.
it could be a great year.
Could be.
It could be a great year. Here's an endless one for 2, I believe.
I didn't know about the changes
Oh,
to tab
for 4,
stuff, and we'll go to the one because I find more about the change somewhere on WotC's website, and probably more reliably on Twitter, in the form of a link to somewhere on WotC's website.
Yeah, you can actually find it on the Magic Judges blog.
Word.
I believe it's magicjudges.org. If you want to see a rundown of the new rules changes. In effect,
Yep.
you own now all of your own Tabernacle triggers. So no longer does your opponent randomly own your Tabernacle triggers, if
Yep.
that makes sense. That was such a bizarre
It truly was, and I actually had it come
ruling.
up in my match this weekend against Lance, and so it was interesting to see it in play immediately. We both immediately judged calls to check if it was in effect or not already.
Great change, no more draw and get wrath.
Yeah, literally
exactly.
no more draw and get wrath.
Yeah.
That is pretty much the thing they're trying to fix.
Mm-hmm. And if your opponent misses it, you, as the person playing against the Tabernacle, gets to choose if you want to go back and do it. So there might be some niche case where you actually want to lose your creature to
For sure.
the Tabernacle,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And you get the option of going back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There was what's he streamed a band today? Like a music band?
I do know that the Mountain Goats were at the offices today, but I guess I didn't know that got streamed. I don't know. I think
The Mountain Goats were at the WotC
I don't see a
office
problem.
today?
Yeah, I don't see a problem. I don't really. That's a weird. Alan, I feel your pain on not having GP coverage, but I don't think those are the same resources necessarily, man.
Might not be.
I think that was streamed from inside their office.
So Lee crop rotations,
And yes, yeah, it's D&D themed.
but has a Mazavith, and not a thespian stage.
What? Also, I've never seen so many people complain about no coverage of a limited GP. I'm not gonna lie. Is it that, or is there that much demand? Am I being too dry here?
I think that the real issue is that it feels like taking away something and not getting anything in return, number one. And the second part is, I think people are fearful of the idea that this might be things to come.
I totally get it. I feel as if
they came for your limited GPs first.
It's true. It's true.
And you said
well,
nothing.
they already came for my legacy GP.
They came for your standard.
They already came for my legacy GP.
Hey, we can always travel to Niagara Falls, Jake.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, New York.
You make it sound so easy.
I've been to Buffalo, I'll tell you what.
I have friends in New York, and I was like, oh, I'll see. It's like a 12-hour bus ride or 14 hours.
It is way up there.
Yeah,
man.
it's way up there.
I have family in New Jersey. I thought about. I asked them like, how far is it to Niagara Falls from New Jersey? They're like 6.5 hours. And no way.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Niagara Falls?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
No offense to Niagara Falls. I like Niagara Falls. I like Buffalo, New York. I like Ohio. I like Canada.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. But we need to find a metropolis to play Legacy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we certainly are spoiled locally as players, and this is a bit of our metropolis. And we will always love to bring it to you here for you on Mondays. But the 2015 and the 2018 GPs in Seattle were very fun, excellent community events for the Legacy community. And I wonder if that same energy will be able to get emulated over in Niagara Falls this year.
Yeah.
Especially on people have expressed its difficulties, multiple holidays on the weekend, scheduling wise, it is not ideal, let's say.
Mm-hmm,
so, as soon as we have another Legacy Magic Fest, I might start to care again. But otherwise, I don't want to sound too much like the cranky old guy, but there's a part of me that was fearful that picture was getting blown a little bit out of proportion. And that I'm sure there's people at WotC that were like rolling their eyes and going, guys, we're not going to If you just calm down, I'm sure you'll like what we have. I don't think they're going to end video coverage.
No.
I think they're just revamping a lot, and they don't
Yeah.
have the best. They don't do the best job of making sure people know that they're, they're in a what's it called, like a chrysalis mode right now. They're in a big cocoon. They're changing. Watsy's going through a lot of change, and sometimes that comes in the form of like some minimal GP coverage for a limited GP that's in New Jersey on the same weekend as a brand new standard set.
Sure.
When there's going to be a standard tournament that weekend for like a new thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that not broadcasting GP New Jersey was like if they had done that in the course of their regular schedule, I don't think it would have been seen as a big deal. Yeah.
Back to the legacy coverage and the legacy availability of legacy GPs. We have been here before as a legacy community. We at the conclusion of GP New Jersey, and I believe it was 2014. Immediately following that event, Star City Games said, "We're not going to any more. We're not doing any more legacy
Right.
opens." And that felt like a real bait and switch because they had been pumping the legacy scene up that entire year, culminating with that GP New Jersey, pumping it up. Treasure Cruise, that was Treasure Cruise too.
Right, that was sort of right before I got in.
Yeah,
right before.
And then it felt like it just got dumped. And in response to that, in response to SCG saying we're no longer doing legacy opens and we're pretty much never coming west of the Mississippi, Card Kingdom stepped up and said, you know what? We are going to fill that void. We're going to create these 1Ks that occur every single month. In addition, we'll also host an invitational that happens once a year, too.
Yeah, it was very cool. And we're now in our third season since that time. So that's what's really excellent about all of this is that it's continued to grow through the community.
Yeah. And you know what? Legacy, look it. We've got Lee Win, Jim Huang playing an exhibition match against each other, just playing with each other's decks, because Legacy is so super fun. This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about.
Oh yeah, no, this is the community that gets me personally to play the game Magic, and I know Wizards has a lot of different types of people that they want to reach out to and want to connect with, and so I'm just glad that we have each other out in our little world of Legacy, and we kind of all agree that we're playing the most fun format.
Yeah, let's bring it back to the booth here.
For sure,
folks. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of our community. Like Jake was mentioning, it's just so vital that we have this community. And it's so important to not just us here, but
you.
I hope it's important to you, and you're showing that it's important to you by tuning in week after week, by watching and being a part of our community. You contribute in chat or you don't. Doesn't matter. Whatever way you want to participate in the community, it's just so valuable.
We're happy to have you.
To what we do.
We're very, very, very happy to have you. I truly, nothing has gotten me further into just the general game of Magic more than wanting to play this format and wanting to participate in this format. So if you guys share that love, we definitely thank you for watching the stream.
Oh, yeah. Table 2.
Table 2? I'm down. Let's do it. Fire it up.
Table 2.
This might be another fast one. I don't know.
Table 2.
Mack and Chris.
What's Mack play?
Mack is, I believe, still on I think he's on the Depths build.
Depths. This could be a fast one.
Now I'm not sure. You actually have me second guessing.
Okay.
Mack does jump around a little bit.
All right.
Christopher Morris-Lent, usually on Infect.
Infect, yeah. I think he's mono Infect.
Oh, okay. He's just one of those dudes? Okay.
Yeah. Table 2, please. Folks, we've got a good one coming up for you now in this, our third round of 4, live from Mock Sporting House, Seattle. Michael Tessier, Jake McCune, bringing you the action.
I can't believe it's round 3 already.
It's round 3. We've been streaming nonstop since we got on.
Yeah, check this out.
No breaks.
We're almost at 2 hours. Oh, that's what it is. Yes.
Oh, Mack
playing Goblins.
He's
playing Goblins.
Goblins
is fun.
Can you? Let's whisper. Goblins against Infect.
I legit can't hear you because my mic volume is super bad. We have to talk at a reasonable volume or I won't hear you. I'm listening.
Goblins versus Infect.
Oh.
It should be a good matchup.
Yeah.
Two pretty good players.
Somewhat interactive as well, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Goblin Sharpshooter could be problematic for Christopher Morris-Lent.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So, folks at home, we've got a good one for you. So looking forward to bringing this to you. We have Mack Greene, a legacy regular here at Mock Sporting House Seattle,
Mack
playing
Greene
with
is a
Goblins.
amazing example of someone who showed up one day, just stuck around, and is now like an awesome legacy player and a regular in the community.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
When he came, he didn't know much about Legacy, but
sure.
he just
Just
kept coming week after week.
Yeah.
You can see
very
VODs
quickly,
of him
had the
now.
dedication,
Yeah.
had the time to show up all the time.
Yeah.
And now if he's not here, it's like kind of weird.
And folks, you can literally Google CML, literally Google Christopher Morris-Lent, and not only will you find
You'll find a lot of stuff
that he's written, including a book called A Brief History of Magic.
Yeah.
Plug for you, CML.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But you can also find articles written by him.
Yeah.
In general.
On a
Christopher Morris-Lent was
website.
also interviewed on the Jenny McCarthy podcast with Donnie Wahlberg about doing your business,
that
standing
part
up or sitting down. Check that out.
That I remember a little bit of now.
Okay, and fourth, and finally, and perhaps most famously, CML wrote an article about winning a Magic tournament. I'll just say under the influence.
I would say specifically under the influence of psilocybin, and that's all we have to say. It's a chemical. It's a scientific chemical. I'm not naming any names.
And you can find it yourselves.
Yeah.
CML.
So that was a fun one back in the day when that came out for everybody in the community.
Josh Monk's just linked it in the chat.
Oh, there you go.
We've got, folks, this is CML has also played on the Pro Tour.
CML is apparently not here right now.
CML has also written an article about playing on the Pro Tour.
Oh, yeah.
And essentially, he talks about, hey, playing on the Pro Tour isn't all it's cracked up to be.
He's one of those people that was very early in being critical of WotC's kind of program that they have in place for pro players. Didn't have it. I think it was just a post on like kind of a random blog, like a Team Tusk type thing or something. Not really like one of the major press outlets for Magic.
He knows he's supposed to be here, so we might put him on the match policy.
Oh. Is he now right there?
Here comes.
What is that him?
CML jangling his way to his seat, hoping to get CML on camera here.
Yeah, you know him better than me. I think you should.
All right, there he is, jingle jangling his way. That if you've ever seen CML
in typical fashion,
you might have seen him if you were part of the legacy scene in the past several years on the West Coast. Yes, he did.
He's down.
You might have seen him. He wears Seattle Sounders soccer scarf frequently. He kind of just jangles around in general. As you can see, he didn't even have his own paper. He needed to ask Mack to borrow some paper.
Does he have any spurs?
This is no spurs.
So that's.
But
the jingle jangle is not from.
No,
you're saying he doesn't have spurs. The jingle
jangle. The jangliness is kind of like just
okay.
Just the CML strut.
That's fair.
I would say, yeah. But CML, excellent writer. If you're a fan of writing, check out CML's work. Mack Greene, like we said, taking himself from legacy noob to legacy stalwart.
And running through a number of decks too. Like Mack, I think has played Infect himself for a little bit. Has played I want to say Mono Red Stompy. Has definitely played Reanimator. Has definitely played Mono Black Tin Fins. Reanimator hybrid type deck. Number of fast combo decks. I feel like Goblins is the first
fair deck,
somewhat fair deck. Yeah, kind of like creature control deck that I've seen him play.
Yeah. So I think Mack is looking for, he's looking for a few cards here. Rishon Port can help stop an Inkmoth Nexus from attacking. Goblin Crater Maker, if he has it in his main deck, can also take out any number of different problematic creature cards. CML taking an immediate mulligan. Goblin Tarfire, if Mack is playing it, can also help, of course. And then lastly, Goblin Sharpshooter, if Mack is playing it, can also help. Really, I think this is a game one, a race for Mack, depending on the texture of his hand. He can race, or he can try to control but it just depends on what he's got available. Goblins, fair deck, weird words. Yeah, those are words. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it is.
this is a format where Death and Taxes and Goblins are called fair decks.
Right,
so
they're
I don't know
fair
what else
decks.
you want me to say, man.
Yeah, no,
Doesn't play Brainstorm, fair deck.
I totally agree. I think Goblins is a fair deck. I think, and here we go. Tropical Island from
If
Christopher
Goblins isn't a
Morris-Lent.
fair deck, nothing in Legacy is.
Ponder is going to reveal 2 buffing cards, Vines of Vastwood, and I believe that's Invigorate. And a land as well.
Underneath.
Oh, excuse me.
That's just the elf. The
It's
little,
a Glistener Elf. Yep.
Glistener elf, yeah.
So Christopher
Combo
Morris-Lent,
Mountain into Lackey. That's true.
considering his Ponder here,
That takes a whole turn.
he's going to draw that Glistener Elf, it looks like, and pass back to Mack. Mack with the snow-covered mountain and an Aether Vial. Going to pass it back, and CML's going to draw that island for his turn. Got a Blighted Agent and a Glistener Elf available as plays this turn, and he's going to opt for the Blighted Agent.
Jund is fair. Jund is also like not really a deck in this format at all.
Here comes the Aether Vial ticking up to 1, and Mack is considering his options here. I can't quite see what he has in hand, but it looks like he has no second mountain, which is going to be problematic. And here comes a Blighted Agent in for 1 Infect, 1 Poison, Sylvan Library, the play for Christopher Morris-Lent. There's a main phase Goblin Cratermaker from Mack, and he's going to burst that Cratermaker immediately on this Blighted Agent. Blighted Agent goes down, and CML's turn is going to start with a Sylvan Library. 2 cantrips and a daze. He's going to take 8 points of damage and draw all 3 cards. So that's an Ancestral Recall in the face of no pressure from Matt Greene. Good choice here. And here is a Ponder follow-up from Christopher Morris-Lent, and we're seeing 3 creatures.
Yeah.
Hierarch among them, and he might take this Hierarch and slam a Jamma.
And then leave the Blighted Agent on top. Oh, or he has got a Glistener first. So I think, yeah, he's trying to figure out that order. Blighted Agent.
Yep, and then next turn he can go Glistener and Blighted Agent.
Yeah. All the Jund Masters are going to P-Fire me. Honestly, if they want to announce themselves, I would gladly get P-Fired. I don't think any Jund Masters exist to P-Fire me. I think they're all playing
a former Jund player.
A little bit, yeah.
Jake, yeah.
I think they all play UC. Jund is a deck. It plays Vox UC, but see, there you go. And sometimes BB.
Back to Mack.
and you got it.
And
you
Mack,
are correct.
Visibly upset with his lack of lands, but does have a Goblin Sharpshooter.
Okay.
Which could be really problematic for CML here.
Yeah, the Vial on 3 is doing a lot of work here.
Sylvan Library is going to reveal a land here for CML, and that actually could be pretty powerful. He could go take 4 and draw the Blighted Agent plus the land.
I know that CML is a big fan of taking life off his Sylvan Libraries. If there's one thing I know anecdotally about that man.
I think if he's choosing anything, he's choosing between taking 8 and taking 4.
Yeah,
there's no chance he's taking 0.
Sincerely doubtful. The other combo for Goblin's Sharpshooter.
I'll take 4, he says. Put 1 card back. Christopher Morris-Lent down to 8.
Now, does Goblin Sharpshooter target anything? Or is it creatures?
It is anything, but only untaps if a creature goes to the graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah. There is CML tapping 2. Blighted Agent likely the play. There it is.
Yep. And now
and pass back.
He's
now he's held up 2 buffs
yeah.
for his Blighted Agent.
Yeah, I don't think he's in kill range yet with his pump spells, is he? Oops, sorry.
Another non-land from Mack, and not looking good. He's going to take out this Noble Hierarch or make an attempt, and there's a Vines of Vastwood in response.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
Saving this Hierarch, and here is Vile Warchief in.
And now we can cast a 2-drop? Yeah, it's just
a pile driver.
Okay. So
wow,
pretty big
Mack
swing.
getting the clock
Pretty
going.
big crack here, right? It's going to be 5. And I think you feel pretty safe because if Chris wastes a pump spell to block effectively, then that's one less pump spell against your Infect creature, right? Or on his Infect swing.
Oh my goodness, actually. If CML can't win next turn, I believe Mack has the clock
Yeah.
advantage.
Oh, wow. Brainstorm. Okay. So just Brainstorm here to try and find something.
Wow, unreal. That was an amazing heads-up play by Mack.
Yeah.
And taking a look at CML's hand here, he's just brainstormed and needs to put 2 back.
Yeah, getting Noble tapped was pretty
Oh,
important.
so for CML's part, he can play Glistener Elf and have some blockers for that Goblin Pile Driver, so likely not a problem?
Not a problem as long as he can kill on the crackback, I believe, right?
I don't think he needs to kill this next turn, because he'll have enough blockers.
Oh, no, that's what I mean after that.
Oh, after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. CML is going to drop down to 3, taking 5. Mack the Knife made the next level play.
Yeah, it's true. He wasn't able to use the vines in order to pump and block.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're watching Live Legacy Magic, and we're seeing a nice one here. CML squaring off against Matt Greene. There's a double Vines of Vastwood pump. Matt Greene gives the handshake for the game 1.
Wow, all right.
CML up 1 game against
Very
Matt
close.
Greene. Double Vines are going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he just had it. Just found the other one. I think that was 3 total vines, right? Yeah. And that's how Infect goes.
That's how it goes.
You get them to 1 turn before they're supposed to be dead, and then they attack you.
Mack, amazingly, really got hamstrung on mana there, but had access to a Gem Palm Incinerator in hand.
Oh yeah.
Along with that Goblin Sharpshooter.
Oh yeah.
He had some action, but just could not get it going. So how do you like game 2 here?
I'm not entirely sure of like what the kind of tech is coming in from these sideboards. I do know that Chris Morris-Lent may have in his board a newer-ish card for Infect, and that is Shaper's Sanctuary. This card showed up on stream a little bit yesterday. It's 1 mana green enchantment. It's really cool, yeah. Exactly. So whenever a creature you control becomes target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. So take that, Goblin Sharpshooter, basically. You're never going to effectively be dealing with my guys because I'm just going to draw more guys. And so on for basically any removal spell aimed at an Infect creature in this deck, right? Or any creature in this deck.
Yeah.
This is kind of the only deck where we've seen this card pop up as finding a home. I think maybe in not Legacy Elves sideboard, but maybe in Modern Elves or something like that as well. Otherwise, it's a cheap, not threat, but what do you want to call it? Like a cheap deterrent that you can put on the battlefield really early, and it lets you sort of play your normal game plan and still keep up on tempo, I guess.
And how about for Mack's part? What is he hoping to see?
Great question.
From his sideboard. Looks like a couple rebs.
We do mention Pyrokinesis in the chat here. I do believe that would come in if that was a board card.
If he has it. I think it's quite uncommon in Goblin boards these days, but Pyrokinesis would be a big-time card.
Quite a big-time card, yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah, I'm not sure.
Not common.
I don't know. Tarfire, obviously, something that might come in greater numbers as well. I feel like I don't see a lot of Goblin lists run mini Tarfires these days either, though. A lot of them are, they have the Gem Palms, and then they have, 1 other removal spell.
Will be interesting to see how Mack proceeds here.
Yeah.
If he can sneak a game away from CML, this game here, then game 3, he has to hope to get lucky twice, I think.
Yeah, it does. I really like Instigator. Is that the card I'm thinking of?
For an Instigator?
Yeah. No. Shoot. What's our new Goblin boy that blows up an artifact or deals 2?
Goblin Crater Maker.
I really like Crater Maker in this match. I hope Matt can effectively leverage that card. Not only does it deal 2 in response to pump spells or what have you, it completely hoses the land, Ink Pump Nexus.
Yep, exactly.
So just another angle. And maybe that's another reason Mack is running less regular removal spells,
Because he's got
more Crater Makers. I guess that's probably a thing. I guess Goblin decks might run some more than one number of Crater Makers in order to cover their bases and just have something that's kind of useful to tutor up.
CML says, check this out.
Yeah.
That that Mirage card, what is it called? It is... chat's going to help me out before I can even get it. So CML's Mirage card that he just casually tossed to Mack and
what was it?
put into his post-sideboard deck. Chat's
Mystic
gonna chime in. No, it was it's an enchantment or sorcery.
I just saw the snake that someone posted.
Okay. Anyway, back to the match. CML, Matt Greene, squaring off. Goblins on your left, Infect on your right. CML's up 1 game. He's a mono Infect player, literally. Only Infect.
Only Infect.
I think like since the SCG days.
Since
SCG
they
Open
printed
days.
the mechanic.
I'm not sure if it was that long, but Infect only.
Okay. Yeah, those Star City days are some of the. It's so funny. I was totally living in the city and playing like very casual Magic in that time period. Was not an active competitive player at all. So to think that that was all happening, and then I got into competitive afterwards is always funny for me to think about. Like going back and watching some of those old VODs is a trip because you see, like I just see like Greg Mitchell, like Mike Kiesel,
Dan Wynn,
Dan Wynn himself, all those dudes, and
Jordan
it's like years ago now and stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Dan Wynn mentioning that CML used to play Merfolk back in the day.
So that's probably what he did before the Infect mechanic. Makes
Pretty
sense.
cool.
Tempo deck kills you quick.
Here's the cool thing is like we're literally talking about like 10 years ago almost, right? 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That is, and we have these memories of this.
Oh,
we know what CML played in Legacy 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like collectively.
It's awesome. The history of it is awesome.
How cool is that?
I love that stuff. That's one of the things that brought me into it as a player up here, especially from someone who's out of town. Like, there's such a history to the area up here, and all these players and these really good players that have stuck around and just like, they've lived their lives in Seattle, but they've always made a little bit of time to keep playing Legacy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Absolutely.
Seeds of Impotence.
Seeds
Had
of
to look it
Impotence.
up.
Thank you.
Wow, that's Seeds of Innocence. I was about to say that is a bold name for a Magic card. Good to know that was a typo.
Okay, so to catch us up on the action, we saw a turn 1 Glistener Elf from CML off a Trop Island. Mack played a Mountain on his turn 1, and then turn 2 Wasteland, which wasted the Trop Island, and also played an Alpine Moon.
Okay.
And I'm assuming this Alpine Moon named Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty fun way to deal with the 1 out of 1/3 of the Infect threats in the deck, right?
Yeah. And CML holding on to no Inkmoth Nexuses, I believe, but having Become Immense, and Invigorate, a Viridian Corruptor, and a Blighted Agent. Big time hand for CML. Mack is on a mulligan to 6, I believe. CML also won that last game on a mulligan to 6, mind you.
Yeah. Yeah, this feels like a matchup where 6 or 5 cards can get there if they're the right ones on either side,
Mack with that...
Alpine Moon is an enchantment. It is not a sorcery. And you name a land to turn off that land. That land just becomes a mountain.
Invigorate, Become Immense. CML says, GG. Here's the handshake.
How is that Become Immense even getting cast? That's not like 8 cards in his graveyard. That's a lot.
4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, is it 5 in a green and not 6 in a green?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's too much. That's crazy.
So we just saw the Invigorate, Become Immense, Wombo combo. CML turn 3 win.
All right. Well, we knew this going into it. We called it. We said this might be a quick one.
Oh,
never get those hands to play anything. You know what? Me neither, Andy. I feel you on that.
Oh my goodness, folks.
Did you?
Folks at home, if you are watching, we just saw CML take the match on turn 3.
Or turn 3.
With Infect over Goblins. CML showing us how he sideboarded too, which is pretty cool. Daze is out. Pyrokinesis in the sideboard from Mack.
Called it.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say on that one. Too bad we didn't get to see that happen, though. Too bad.
No pyrokinesis.
No pyro. No pyro and 30 minutes left. We'll see if Will looks like he's looking around for something.
We are looking for another match, folks.
Yeah. Let's see if he finds one.
Who is Michael Tessier? Is he Michael Tessier's evil twin? It's the Terramander twin variant.
Yeah. It's it's Michael's Terramander twin.
Alternate art. All right, folks, let's bring it back to the booth while we look for another match for you. Michael Tessier and Jake McCune in the booth. Thank you so much for joining us.
We paid 7 and a blue, and he adapted. And so now he's Michael Tessier. He has adapted into a strong creature.
I have 4 plus 1
Crisis.
4 plus 1 counters.
Yeah,
on,
he
on
goes
me.
to the same gym as Hydroid Crisis. They do weights together. They get swole.
All right, it's time.
Yeah.
For the next match of round 3. This is my
We gotta find
adapted
them,
version.
Max.
The next match
This is
of
the
round
Terramander.
3.
This is the Tessier speaking.
Anyway, we've got at least one more round to go. We're in the midst of round 3, folks, of Legacy Action. We're bringing you at least one more round and hopefully another match this round. We've just seen... We just finished seeing Goblins square off against Inkmoth Nessus. We've already seen Black-Red Reanimator play against Sneak and Show.
I'm going to see if I can get something.
Great.
I don't know if Will's actually looking for a backup match. I think he's doing his other job. Will has like 2 jobs. He's not being lazy.
We also had Blue-Red Delver play against... what was it? Blue-Red Delver against... Folks, what do we see? Blue-Red Delver against Big Eldrazi in the hands of Jeremy Edwards. Man, what a night for Legacy. Some great matches. And this is, as I mentioned before, this is kind of a light turnout for us. We've got about 20... Excuse me. No, we have a little bit over 30 folks here in the house, which is still a light turnout for our Monday Night Legacy Action. And need to check VODs for the other Tessier. Yeah, I don't know where he is. There's only Terramander Tessier remaining here. 2 1Ks surely made people tired. I know. Back to back. Imagine being Josh Monks and playing like 16 rounds of Legacy over 2 days. It's like a GP. But Josh Monks, congrats to you for proving the victor in the 1K there. Mike Kiesel also taking it down with Turbo Depths, who I believe is in the house. So we've got a lot of great Legacy action to come. Stick around here. So we've already asked, what do you think are the 2 best decks in Legacy? I've also asked, from where are you watching? Now, I'd like to know, what deck, archetype, or card would you like to see back in the meta? If you could like just pick and say, hey, this deck is suddenly viable again, what deck would you like to see have like a real representation? You'd like to see it like over and over again. Say it in chat. Tell me in chat. What deck do you want to see represented in the Legacy meta that isn't currently represented? I see false name.
Oh, yeah, I need to double check these spellings.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, when we said false name makes me think of false cure. Josh Monks, I believe, is in the chat. He knows all about those false cures, helping Casey out with that deck, I think. Doomsday. It's a big-time winner. Couple Doomsday folks. Enchantress is great. And I'm not sure what else the rest is. Manipulate Fate. I'm guessing, might you mean Food Chain? Or is there a Manipulate Fate specific deck? I'd love to know. Tell me. Zoo. Oh, man. Imagine Zoo being in the meta.
Yeah, I wish I could play a creature deck that didn't necessitate value. Even though
Or,
I like playing value.
Yeah, well, how about a beatdown deck that doesn't necessitate Delver?
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah.
If you could go back to Kirdape, Wild Nicodle, and
We do
the
have
Reliquary.
a backup match in the works over here. I don't know what Noah's on. We're going to find out as soon as we play. Kelly on the left here is on my copy of Death and Taxes. So Kelly was putting out a bat single. This is also a pretty cool community example of Kelly's a great dude, but I've met him very briefly. He had some friends that were vouching for him. He was looking for a deck to play, and here we are.
You lent him your Death and Taxes. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm casting tonight.
Yeah.
Let it borrow my deck.
It looks like Noah's playing Esper, and it might even be the Esper from the MKM.
That's what I was kind of
champion.
wondering about. Okay.
And that was an Esper Mentor deck.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's the most
we'll put
likely.
Esper there for now.
Yeah. The most.
Oh, let's take a look. Delver? Delvers? I think those are Delvers.
No, Wasteland. Yeah.
No, but he went past flip cards.
Yeah. So Delver. Wait. Yeah. This could be. What?
QC, I got punished for not playing
Grixis
Maverick.
Delver. I think this is Grixis Delver.
By the way.
Some other folks would like to see full English breakfast. Painter back in. Yeah, I'd love to see Painter back in too. That is a cool deck. Miracle Grow, KCI in Legacy, Standstill to be great again, Food Chain, Standstill, Death and Taxes.
Death and Taxes.
The Terramander.
All night tonight.
Taxes. There's a Wasteland.
Yep, I like this.
Oh, this is Death Shadow. This is
there we
Death
go.
Shadow.
That makes much more sense. And now that Noah just has the fetch land up, we'll see what else is in Kelly's hand. He might have a two drop to deploy here. The port is kind of turned off though by the fetch blade, so the fetch land. So.
I will say I played Death and Taxes against Sean Yu at an SCG Open.
Oh.
Like literally 2000, I don't know, whatever.
Many moons
2011
ago.
or something wild like that. And I played Death and Taxes, and it was relevant for me to tap down his fetch lands on multiple turns.
Oh yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, because he did not want to shuffle. He was playing Miracles, of course. He didn't want to shuffle.
Sure.
So I forced him to shuffle anyway.
When your opponent plays a brainstorm deck, especially like right after they brainstorm, or right before, it can be really prudent.
Yeah.
Like with it on the stack to go after their fetch land.
Mm-hmm.
Ratchet Bomb in Noah's list, it looks like. Also, didn't catch who was up. I'm going to go get that information.
Okay. Kelly with a Thalia and a Mom in play. Rishadon Port and Plains also sitting on his side of the table. Thalia in for 2. Noah thinking about if he wants to Fatal Push this, perhaps. I'm not sure. Noah down to 15.
This player's already 1-1.
Excellent. Yeah. We will update
So
that.
this is a game 3 here.
We are at
just checking this isn't a game 2.
This is for all the marbles, folks.
Yep.
Noah is a long time Legacy player. I remember seeing him from way back in the day, and just made a recent return, so glad to see him back.
Right on, yeah. It's also, Magic's a game that sometimes you take a big break from, but you can always come back.
Yeah. And Legacy in particular, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think that's part of what makes Legacy so cool. Is
it doesn't, stuff changes, but not a lot changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can leave and come back and still have a kind of idea of what's going on. So here's Death Shadow off of a Watery Grave and a fetch land. And Noah now down to 12. So this is a 1-1 Death Shadow.
Yeah, not a huge threat. And with that... With no ability... no, I guess could have a Street Wraith, so not safe to attack with Thalia.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Death Shadow super bad against the card Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah,
and there it
absolutely dismal. Always evening your opponent back up at 13.
Raceland, if I could pick a card, I would love Werebear to be good again. Yeah! Werebear. Man, those were the days.
That's a card.
Aquamoeba, Wild
card.
Mongrel, Werebear, Basking Root Walla.
Yeah.
Circular Logic. Need I go on?
I mean, so the thing
Are you getting excited, Jake?
Michael,
just hearing these cards?
The thing is, Michael, I learned to play Magic the Gathering in 2010.
Oh, 2000.
So
that was even after Innistrad.
Oh yeah, well it was during
Innistrad.
That was I was the guy who didn't know what he was doing, cracking packs. And I opened 2 Lilianas in my Innistrad packs, and I hated that card. I thought it was so not fun to play with. And then I traded them at like $45 value to get standard cards.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah, it wasn't that
cards
bad.
You wanted.
It wasn't that bad.
Cool.
I got cards I wanted.
That's cool.
End of the day, it was fine.
Yeah.
And now I have Lilies. But when Innistrad first came out, I was that person who barely knew what they were doing, but was getting into the game a little bit more every day.
Another Swords to Plowshares for Noah's second Death Shadow. And Noah is sitting behind the 8-ball against this combo of Thalia and Mom and Swords to Plowshares. And another Death Shadow from Noah. He's at 11. This is a 2-2.
This is kind of how the matchup operates, I think. We even saw in Wow, and is that another swords? Yeah.
Oh
There it
my
is.
goodness. 3 swords, 3 death shadows. Kelly's laughing maniacally already, gripping your cards in his hand, Jake.
And he keeps putting him back to 11 too. This is the funnest. This is such a silly dance.
Noah down to 11.
We even saw in the finals of the Team Pro Tour though that Death and Taxes was able to beat Death Shadow through double Dread of Night. So not even double Dread of Night was able to pull back like the natural advantage that this deck can gain.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I did not know that happened.
Oh yeah, go back and watch. It's I think Greg Orange and someone else. No, wait, it was Greg Orange's team, but he wasn't the Death and Taxes player.
Okay.
Against LSV's team, I think.
Oh,
No, not LSV's
I gotta watch
team.
that.
Man, I'm forgetting details. LSV was in the other Grand Prix or other Pro Tour, not the team one.
That sounds awesome.
It was cool. It was crazy.
That sounds
Batter Skull, still a card under Dread of Night. Long story short.
Yes. Here comes an Aether Vial's first counter for Kelly, and Kelly is in the driver's seat, having now exiled 3 copies of Death Shadow. Noah with just a single Watery Grave in play. Kelly holding all the cards here.
Oh yeah.
Got Thalia in play. Ooh, got a Friction Revoker in hand. Not sure what he's going to name with that. But take a look at Stubborn Denial. Hey, what's this card do?
That's a fun one.
Noah discarded this card to hand size. He has too many cards in hand because he can't cast any with this Thalia on board.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want your opponent as the Death and Taxes pilot. I would literally just be cracking in here and porting and leaving up representing swords. There's not even, I mean, it looks like Kelly's thinking about 3 drops, but I don't even think you should be doing that. Yep. And now we're going to see Kelly activate port. Perfect. Perfect.
There's a port. Big time putting the Python squeeze on Noah here.
Yeah. And the Reanimate's going to do nothing for Noah. So as long as this port is active and as long as Noah untapping his land there,
I'm not sure why he did that.
We'll remind them if that comes up.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just shortcutting, saying I'm not going to do anything.
I'm
if he
F6ing
uses
until my
mana
next
trust,
turn.
I will go over there.
Yeah, I think the only thing he could use his mana on is to pay for a Force of Will, but
Oh, that's true. But even that probably won't come up here. Yeah.
right. Swing for 2. Noah down to 5. This is game 3, folks, of this.
Yeah, we're still sitting at 21 minutes left in round 2, so we may yet get a third match on camera this round.
Tap down your Watery Grave, says Kelly. Top deck, a Delver's Secret, says Noah. That's not going to do it. Ponder. Hits the bin. Discarded a hand size. Back to Kelly. End of turn. Activate Vial. Friction Revoker. What are you naming?
I mean, against Death Shadow, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm naming Polluted Delta.
If I have the Soul Raid, I guess I'm naming Ratchet Bomb, but maybe I saw that in game 2.
That's possible.
Yeah.
I think I'd name... Oh, wait, excuse me, non-land card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't name a fetch.
Yeah.
It would be cool if you could.
Yeah, that's Pithing Needle only.
QC says you name Abandoned Hope if you have nothing to name, which is always classic.
Why is Revoker still in? That's a good question.
Just
Ratchet Bomb?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's it, right?
I will say Kelly borrowed my deck tonight. I didn't give him a sideboard guide. I don't expect him to be an expert.
You didn't give him you didn't give him a little card with all the all the matchups on it, both sides.
I don't have anything like that.
Swing in for 4 from Kelly. Noah down to 1.
Also, exactly that. Captain QC said so. Yeah.
Next
See,
level
even
play.
I forgot that for a second.
Yeah.
That's what won. That's what won that match I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It was Batter Skull on a Revoker.
And there's a handshake from Noah. Kelly is going to take game 3 and the match.
Oh, Mom could kill. We didn't go to Mombat. That's okay.
Jake, your Death and Taxes deck just earned Kelly a win.
Yeah. Go Kelly. Go Death and Taxes. That's one more than I got on Sunday. So, actually,
you should just give this to him. He's better.
That's not how that works.
He's just he's won a match. How many matches have you won in the last 6 days?
Wow, that is a rude question to ask me on stream, Michael Tessier. Wow.
Kelly's won like infinite more matches than you have in 6 days. So overall, though, this matchup probably pretty bad for Death Shadow.
Very bad for Death Shadow, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, very favored for Death and Taxes.
Yeah.
I should have played Maverick. Probably. I don't know. Yeah. I think they're kind of the same deck, and it just matters how my matchup dice rolls.
Yeah. I think it just sometimes happens with Death and Taxes, man.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. Let's bring it back to the booth here.
If I played Maverick, I would have like beaten my lands opponent and then got paired up against one of the like 6 burn decks in the room or whatever.
Yeah,
No, 3 burn
something.
decks or
Yeah.
something.
Maverick is even worse than Death Taxes against Burn.
Against
right?
burn, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it felt like a pretty coin tossy event. But,
Yeah. Burn isn't bad for Maverick, says Captain QC.
burn isn't bad for Maverick.
Scavenging is?
I feel like you have to have things go right and they have to be slow.
I'd rather play Death
Even-
Taxes than
Maybe
Maverick.
even, but I still feel safer on against burn on DNT.
Yeah.
That
Michael
said-
Tessier, Jake McCune in the house for
Yeah.
you tonight.
Hey everybody.
Live from Mock Sporting House.
We're speeding through the rounds too. That
Valid.
was round 2. We still have 18 minutes left in round, of course. So possible that we get the tail end of a match on.
Maybe. We might take a little break here
Yeah,
in
we
just
could
a
go down,
moment,
take a little break.
and then come back for round 4.
Okay, yeah,
I think that's a fair assessment.
that's pretty fair. I should grab some more water with which to wet my whistle, and
All
so
right.
on and so forth.
Folks,
You
we'll
guys-
see you in about 15 minutes for round 4 of Legacy Action. Stay tuned, don't go far, and we'll see you in just a moment.
Please stay around. We'll be right back. Where do I go to metagame up here? This is from yesterday. We'll be back.
You think they'll care if I turn on the stream?
Should.
I don't know.
Wants to see you anyways.
What's up, guys? Jordan Isaac here, coming to you live from Mox. They can't hear me, but now they can. What's up, guys? Jordan Isaac here, coming to you live from Mox Boarding House, Seattle, in the Ballard area. We've got 4 rounds of hard-hitting legacy action coming to you, and I got some bunny ears going on. What I will tell you though is that I am neither Mike Tessier nor am I Jake McCune. But what I'm here to do right now is occupy 12 minutes of time. There are 12 minutes left in the round, and I'm here to bring you guys some entertainment. What I will say this is I have to go to work tomorrow and wake up early in the morning. I also drank a lot. What's up? Am I doing good? All right. Yeah, I'm just filling time. I'm just spitballing with the chat, and I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to the chat about how I was fooled.
Honestly, next time we do a bathroom break, I might just try to pull you in. I'm serious.
So, my bad.
No, you're good.
Oh, thanks.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, I'll tell you what, and maybe this is not. What I will say is that, so you know how sometimes you want to go to a bar,
Oh yeah.
and you want to ask the bartender what their favorite drink is.
Yeah, I think I've
You ever done that before? You know, or you go to a place that you've never been to, and you
Hey.
ask. So listen,
I know similar things.
I go to the bartender and I ask him. I go for a drink, right?
Yeah.
And he pulls out this cider, and it's 22 ounces, man. It's 22. So I have to drink the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's burn. Greg Mitchell burn.
So I just slam the whole.
All right, let's do it. The table
Basically, what you need to know is, I'm just kind of intoxicated right now. Are we gonna cast? What's up? It's Tessier. Tessier, my better
Oh,
half.
you were talking about tonight. You
Yeah, I don't know.
sly dog.
Dude, I am drunk.
You made a fatal mistake there, Jake.
Oh my goodness. I have to work tomorrow. I don't even know.
I didn't even let him on, dude. He just got on there.
I don't even want to put
came
this
back
on
from
now.
the bathroom, but he was on.
Okay.
Sorry. I scrubbed out.
Folks, welcome back.
Jordan is practicing for local community theater, practicing his lines on stream.
That was a fatal mistake,
Very
Jake.
excellent fictional account from Jordan Isaka there.
That's a free. He gets the old stiff arm for me every time. It's like,
Classic mojo. I think he had something garlicky to eat too just now. I don't know. Oh, maybe that's you. Never mind. No shade. No shade.
folks, welcome back. We are getting in the booth for round 4, our 4th and final round of Legacy Magic tonight, live from Mox Boarding House Ballard. Thank you so much for joining us. Michael Tessier, Jake McCune in the booth for you.
Hey, everybody.
And we're about to watch a sweet one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I know-
This was at Michael's command.
I know what you're thinking.
I had a match lined up.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
But this is...
Allie is going to be stuck in the cafe for a little bit, so 5?
Okay.
Yeah. 5.
Okay, that works.
We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. But
I think Allie is closing their tab.
I wanna show you. I want to show you.
Wait, are you serious? Did you just type that?
Yes.
What?
This is. I'm going to show you right now. I'm hitting.
Oh.
Greg Mitchell,
All right.
folks. The Greg Mitchell side is accurate.
Well, we're down to just chill till Allie's ready, if they're cool to play. That's great then, yeah. Allie's, yeah.
Greg Mitchell, folks, is playing Cat Combo Saheeli Rai version. That's right.
That's going to be actually pretty sick. I hope Allie doesn't just run over them completely. Burn is, probably pretty good here.
So here's the thing.
This is my concern.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Greg
does only need 1 turn to go off.
He's also playing the Saheeli Rai combo in a standard blue-white-red Stoneforge shell.
So he has access to the anti-burn cards that we love.
Allie's on the way.
Okay.
He's got the Jite. He's got the Batterskull.
Wow.
He's got Swords to Plowshares. He's got outs.
And
got
he's sitting at
4s.
3-0 tonight?
3-0, folks. These folks are 3-0.
Yeah. This is table 1 for our night. So that's cool. I guess you can just bring Cat Combo to Legacy sometimes. Or rather, I guess you can shove Cat Combo and Blue White Red Blade sometimes
Yes.
and still win matches.
Greg specifically was like, hey, I'm so excited. I'm 3-0 with Copycat. I was
So
like, what the?
did he-
What's Copycat? He's
Did
like,
you ask him if he comboed off on stream yet?
Sahili Rai.
Or not on stream, but in the match?
I'm sure he has. I didn't ask him, but
That
I mean,
has got to be just the weirdest.
so cool.
It's so funny because you have
bring
to
it back
play
to the
them
booth
both
here.
at sorcery speed, and you can't play one without it being a giant tell. Like, obviously, if you play the cat, you're like, all right,
Yeah.
where's the Saheeli? And if they play the Saheeli, you're like, all right, where's the cat?
I think
So
playing the Saheeli
there's
alone.
no element of surprise.
Playing the Saheeli alone, there's plausible deniability, right?
That is it. That is exactly what I would call it.
Yeah,
it is
only
you voiced it exactly. It is plausible deniability,
Yes.
but it is not deniability without cause.
No. There is suspicion.
Yeah, there is suspicion.
You're raising a
involved.
strong
You are
suspicion as soon as you
definitely
play
raising
Saheeli Rai.
suspicions if you play Saheeli Rai in Legacy.
I wanted to ask you about something
Oh, yeah?
while we wait for this match to start.
Sure.
While we wait for this match to start, the fine folks at Eternal Durdles.
Eternal Durdles. Okay.
You ever listen to that podcast?
Only a little bit.
They talk about Legacy.
Okay.
Great
there's
podcast.
There's quite a few Legacy podcasts.
There are a few Legacy
I will not lie.
A lot of
Hard to
great
keep
Legacy
up.
content out there. They had a list of cards. You just tell me yes or no.
Okay.
Is this card underplayed?
Okay.
If you think this card deserves to see more play,
In Legacy, yeah.
say yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go rapid fire here.
Ooh.
Ready? Dak Faden.
Yes.
Buried Alive.
Which one? Wait, what does Buried Alive do?
2 colors and a black for a sorcery. You get to put 3 cards from your library.
Oh, that's the Phoenix one. Well, I guess in that deck, yes.
Thunderous Wrath.
Uh,
Miracle for 1 red, 5.
no,
5 damage.
yeah. I think underplayed. Shouts out to Josh Monks. He had a blue-red Miracles deck apparently.
Terramander.
Definitely underplayed. Let's get more Terramanders in here.
Standstill.
Sure. Shouts out to Jordan Isaka. Underplayed.
Dualcaster Mage.
I don't. Oh, that one seems weird. I don't know. I'm gonna say fine. I'm gonna say not underplayed.
Direfleet Daredevil.
Definitely underplayed. That card's nutty.
Expansion Explosion.
Probably. I'm gonna say no because I don't want people. If that card gets good in Legacy, I do not want to play against it at all.
Birds of Paradise.
I think no though. It's too much. Birds of Paradise. I mean, not. There's an argument to play one in Maverick at some point. I know QC will talk about that. Otherwise, like, no. What decks are you playing? I'm sorry. It's too sad.
Painful Truths.
Yeah, underplayed. I wish that card would get slotted into more decks, but it's just not that strong.
Spell Snare.
Definitely underplayed. I feel like it always gets them.
Spell Queller.
Definitely underplayed. Shouts out to Tyler Markland this weekend.
Madcap Experiment.
No, not underplayed because it shouldn't be. I don't think.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's no overplayed cards on that list though.
This is
There's definitely not overplayed cards.
That was a good rundown. I'd love to hear your folks' opinion right here in the chat.
Yeah.
Any
I miss
of those
Allurin,
cards
too.
stick out to you?
Ready, Ro? Cool.
Here we go. Bring it down to the match. Allie versus Greg.
Yeah, this is gonna be quite the good one, folks.
I'm really not sure what to expect.
I also like how we're still 4 minutes left in round 3 and we're starting round 4. Legacy's fast, folks.
It's a fast format.
We're moving quick tonight.
Fast format. Here we go. Folks, this is our 4th and final round.
Oh yeah.
Legacy action brought to you by Mock's Boarding House in Ballard. Michael Tessier, Jake McCune in the booth for you.
Got a nice, quick, potentially quick one for you. I don't see many ways this match gets drawn out. I'm very curious, though. I do hope we get 3 games.
Let's bring up the critical cards here.
The cat,
Felidar Guardian. It's a
cat
1/4. That's legit.
I like to call this card the mistake, because this was the card that was the mistake. Saheeli came first, I'm pretty sure. And
Do you think they just missed it, or were they saying it's okay for this combo to be in standard?
I do believe it's on the record as saying it's something that they missed.
Oh, okay.
I think it's because you don't really typically think about exiling planeswalkers when you write that clause.
Right. Yep.
That said, if someone in chat knows something different, please obviously speak up.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty sure it was confirmed that this was something that they did not catch in testing, which is kind of weird if you ask me.
So that Felidar Guardian combos with Saheeli
I mean, they had to
Rai.
ban it eventually, right? Didn't they?
Yeah.
They banned Felidar Guardian?
Yeah.
I think? Yeah. So it was ultimately like, I feel like if they banned it, they must not have caught it.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, turn 1. Allie has fetched and found a mountain.
Standard bannings just don't happen that often, except for the past 4 years. Is correct.
Okay, and we're seeing a Monastery Swiftspear on turn 1. Greg Mitchell is now down to 19. He's on the clock.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
to Ali.
And so here's the other thing about Burn recently got some new cards. I was talking to Ali before the match, before the night started tonight. They are not on any of the new Burn cards because it is too much to figure out where to put them right now.
Ah, like what to cut.
Yeah, what to cut.
I actually
what's
looked at
good
that
and what's
too.
bad.
I could not figure out what to cut.
They raise a lot of weird questions.
Mm-hmm.
Light Up the Stage is certainly not necessarily good with certain cards in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you flip a Fire Blast on turn 2, like that's not great for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other Bolt, just it's kind of awkward because the list is already so
Right. What are you
streamlined.
cutting?
Yeah. What are you cutting?
Rift Bolt's great. Lava Spike is just a better version of that card.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So
So yeah.
question mark?
Question marks indeed. What are you cutting? I am
hard to
curious to see. We did have some burn decks over the weekend that played some numbers of these new cards, but not 4 in either instance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg Mitchell is dropping down to 12 now off of this fetch, and going to find a Stoneforge Mystic, and this is likely going to find a Batter Skull.
This is going to be a pretty crucial turn. Ellie needs to find a way to deal with Batter Skull or have it be a non-issue by the time Greg gets it into play.
Or just by the time Greg can swing with it.
Right, exactly. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So they actually have 2 whole turns here in which to deal 12, which is quite a bit for Burn.
Yep.
It feels like if Greg has limited interaction here, they could just go away with the game right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's right, folks. You're seeing this correctly. Cat combo is 3-0 tonight.
Yeah.
We're going for a 4-0 here with Saheeli Rai and Felidar Guardian. Great play by Ali. Hard cast Rift Bolt, targeting that Stoneforge Mystic. Greg Mitchell's going to have a Batter Skull stranded in his hand. Heads up play by Ali.
Turn 3 death by Red feels bad on Arena. I mean, so does Wilderness Reclamation, right? It's kind of weird. They're getting real testy with a lot of their power levels in Standard right now.
Greg Mitchell all the way down to 9, but playing the Saheeli Rai.
Yeah, here we go. Greg Mitchell's hope, I think, now is to just try to
win
live to
next turn.
Yeah, win next turn, yeah. He's got to have the cat in hand, right? Come on. Definitely has to have the cat.
Okay, Saheeli Rai gets to scry 1, so get to look for the cat.
Yep.
Saheeli Rai's at 4. Ali untaps.
This also
draws.
Causes Ali to ask, not that I think you do, but I think that causes Ali to ask, do I throw anything at the Saheeli? I think in this instance, when Greg's at 9, you just cannot.
I just saw Greg Mitchell's hand, and guess what he has in his hand?
He's got the cat.
He has the cat.
Oh, no. Greg, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Guardian.
Oh, that's not even.
That's
not
Eidolon.
even good. Eidolon isn't even good here.
Doesn't work.
No.
Doesn't work.
No justice.
Doesn't
no justice.
work.
Ali does not have double Fire Blast in hand.
Does
There
Greg
is no
have the land?
justice.
He has the land.
What am I talking about?
Greg
No
down to
justice. We're about to do it.
Greg
Oh my
down to
God.
7. He has the cat.
He has the cat. Cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag.
The cat is out of the
Cat's
bag.
out of the bag.
Ali Liao. Scooping him up.
Get
Greg
outta
Mitchell
here.
gets the cat combo going.
Get out of here.
How do you deal with 1 million cats?
1 million Felidar cats.
1 million cats.
Houston, cat is out of the bag. We repeat.
That means
The
Greg
cat is
Mitchell
out of
is
the
up
bag.
game 1 in this, our 4th and final round of Legacy action tonight.
Greg Mitchell
The
blazing
cat.
trails for the new Seattle Legacy meta here.
I like that. Who needs Splinter Twin?
Who needs Splinter Twin?
Because you know what?
indeed?
Saheeli Rai on her own, pretty good.
Does stuff.
But what if you just have a stray Splinter Twin in your hand?
You know what you can also do is like copy your Stoneforge and go search up another thing.
Oh.
Or like copy a Snapcaster. Yeah, and get another flashback trigger. So like it doesn't
Dude,
have
Saheeli's
bad
good.
Yeah, it's not unbad. Like literally the biggest problem with the deck is playing a 4-mana 1/4 cat. Or it's a 1/4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cat is ridiculous.
Have you heard of toxoplasmosis?
Okay.
Toxoplasma gondii?
I'm not entirely sure.
It is a parasite
Okay, this is okay.
that cats carry
Yes.
and can infect.
This is the one that you can get.
You can get it.
Are you unfamiliar with the colloquial name for this?
What's it called?
Have I
Oh, is it safe for
must
stream
I
safe?
No, yeah, it absolutely is.
Oh,
Must I
okay.
but Unfortunately, I do have to invoke. Oh wow! Now I'm forgetting his name. Cat Scratch Fever. Yeah,
Cat
never
Scratch
mind.
Fever.
Couldn't remember the guy who sings Cat Scratch Fever.
Wow.
I'm losing it.
I don't.
I'm losing it.
Anyway, I believe Greg's got a case of Toxoplasmogontii.
No, this is how good I've been doing at erasing this dude from my brain.
Speaking of BTO, Alan asks.
Oh wait, is that a BTO song? Wait, what about? Hold on. Michael, talk. I need to do research.
Speaking of music, we mentioned King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah,
I just want to plug.
they're around.
You know, because Lizard Wizard.
They put out like 80 albums a year.
Yeah, last year not that many, unfortunately. But
Well, they gotta save it up, I guess.
I want to let.
It is. No, it's a Ted Nugent song.
Ted
Thank you.
Nugent. Okay,
God.
Ted Nugent. Cat Scratch Fever.
What's
Ted,
wrong with my
Ted
brain
Nugent.
tonight?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard has a song called Altered Beast.
That's tight.
Actually, they have a series of songs they call Altered Beast.
I think my friends had a song called Altered Beast. I'm not kidding.
So, if you folks at home are interested at all in like psychedelic rock, check out Altered Beast.
Hey,
it sounds.
you want to know something funny?
Yeah.
My friends had a band in college. They wrote a song called Altered Beast. Do you want to know the name of the band?
Kithkin?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. They were named Kithkin.
All this magic and geek culture,
It's
video
all-
games, and
It all gels
it's all
together, baby.
Lizard Wizards
Lizards,
and
Wizards.
Kithkin, and we're man.
There's a lot of magic names and influence in music if you listen to the right type of music and like also play Magic. You'll immediately like you'll get the wink basically.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
The wink and nod.
We need to make a card called Cat Scratch Fever.
Ooh, I like it.
It's kind of like
Next community card.
It's kind of like a Mindslaver card, but not quite. It's like a bad Mindslaver card.
There's like 8 Warhammer 40k metal bands. Absolutely, yeah. Shouts out to Bolt Thrower, the only real Warhammer 40k metal band. Absolutely.
Okay, we are in game 2. Greg Mitchell taking a look at his starting 7, and I'm not sure if Ali had to take a mulligan here. But yes.
I think maybe just still shuffling.
Folks, cat combo in Legacy. 3-0 tonight.
Cannot believe.
Possibly a 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Mitchell's not one to split, you know?
No.
Even at the end of this, even you know.
No.
No. Or before.
No. I even asked him, I said...
These two are not playing it out for funsies.
No. He's 4-0. He's 4-0 or 3-1 it. Commentators confirm.
Hey, man.
Jake, I consider myself somewhat... Oh, it was a mulligan to 6 for Ali.
Yeah.
I consider myself someone who's real into music, but you post some bands that I'm like, whoa, who the heck is that, man?
I sort of specialize in it.
I gotta look up bands. I'm like, what is this?
That is sort of where I do. Well, that's sort of where I find my best stuff. I definitely like finding the deep stuff and spreading it to the people, getting it out to the peeps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Unintentional draw would
I like
be
a lot
so
of music,
dope.
man.
It's unlikely with
a lot of good stuff. Not that both are super obscure, but to some,
Ali starting out with no turn 1 play, just a Bloodstained Mire, and there is a Ponder from Greg.
40-minute burn game, let's go. I mean, listen, all I hope is that Ali wins this one so that we can see another game.
That would be ideal. We just love Magic.
We just love Magic, and if we can get Greg Mitchell to combo off as like the very last thing that happens in 3 games, I'd be much more satisfied than if he does it this game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ponder, Greg's keeping, and drawing, and passing. Ali's turn. Ali draws. Flame Rift.
All right, here we go.
Double Bloodstained Mire, down to 18.
Begins. I believe this might be an Ido. Yeah, Eidolon.
Eidolon.
That's typically like, I mean, if they don't have a turn 1 play,
it's because
it's almost certainly because they're slamming an Eidolon. Yeah. A turn 2 Eidolon with no turn 1 play. Because Eidolon's just so good at least dealing your opponent 2 and a card, which is really important. And if not, like 4 to 6 and a card.
Oh, so good. There's a Stoneforge Mystic from Greg. That's his best turn 2 play in this matchup. Batterskull, the find, of course. Wonder if Ali has access to Smash of Smithereens.
Very likely. I believe that's like always. That's just perennially in
always
sideboards.
3 to 4.
Always 3. Yeah.
Bloodstained Mire, number 3.
You need to deal with so many cards.
But those matching Rob Alexander signatures for Ali, very tasteful.
One thing I love about Burn in Legacy is that it has been able to maintain its status as a mono red deck. You see a lot of these Burn decks in other formats like Modern, and obviously in Standard there's a mono red deck now. But in Modern, Burn is like a 3-color deck because of all these other crazy multicolored
Destructive
spells and
Revelry.
Stuff. Yep. Boros Charm. Yeah.
They're so
But in
good.
in Legacy, it's like it just feels right that it's still you just need mountains.
Yeah.
Mountains and lightning bolts.
Ali with that excellent turn 3 play again. Riftbolt taking care of that Stoneforge Mystic from Greg Mitchell, stranding that Batterskull in hand for now. Greg Mitchell with just a Scalding Tarn and pass. Greg's down to 16, facing down an Eidolon of the Great Rivel. No Saheeli Rai on turn 3 for Greg this time.
Yeah. Yeah, not the threat to kill immediately. Oh, Saheeli in hand for Greg. So there's that.
Did not plop it down.
Doesn't want to fetch. I think
Swift
that
Spear.
signals that he probably doesn't have the other half, right?
He wants to leave this up for his swords? Or?
Potentially.
Got it. Okay. Ali, with that Flame Rift.
Taking
We
6.
I take
from
6,
their
you
own
take 4.
Flame Rift. Yeah.
Wow.
And pumping the Swift Spear up.
Pump
so
up
cracking
the
in
Swift
for 4.
Spear. Snapcaster Mage is going to block the Eidolon.
So Greg's going to take 2 from Snap and then 2 from the Monastery Swift Spear.
Got it.
Block with the Eidolon.
Greg down to 8. Ali at 7.
Yeah, Ali at 7. Doesn't matter a ton unless another Flame Rift comes into play. But I think Ali's sitting on other spells. And so it looks like they have a kill set up next turn.
Yes.
If Greg cannot interact in a meaningful way.
Yes, I believe Greg can. I believe
Greg
has
cat.
a Swords of Plowshares.
Interesting.
At least.
The cat, notably, also is a 1/4. Pretty good blocker.
Ooh, Saheeli Rai is the choice for Greg.
Okay.
Scry 1. You take 1. Ali down to 6.
Oh, it pings when you scry? I didn't realize that. Okay.
Believe that.
I forgot it. Yeah. Goes to face. All right.
Greg opting to keep that card on top. Ali untaps and draws, and it is
So I think the other
another
one is...
Monastery Swift Spear.
So Ali has the, what is it called? The uncounterable one. The Fire Blast.
Oh.
But I don't think...
Fire Blast is not uncounterable.
But do not Fire Blast. Fire Recon... I need to work on this, y'all. The one red, deal 4. Uncounterable. Spell Mastery.
Yeah. That I don't think Ali has that in hand. I
Wait,
think
really?
it's a Rift Bolt in a
Oh, it is a Rift Bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Exquisite Firecraft.
I totally thought Rift Bolt was Firecraft. Excuse me. Never mind. All right. Well, that'll be sort of it.
Okay. Rift Bolt.
Yeah.
4/3. Hard cast.
And then swing in.
Greg down to 3. Oh, Ali's not getting
Wow.
Not the patience of Ali.
Yeah, I really like this.
The patience.
I like it.
That's
Why not? Why not?
Oh, because you can go for it in response if Greg just plays a Felidar Guardian.
What? Make him tap out.
Oh man.
You know, something like that I think feels really. I like that patient burn play.
Yes.
You can't just go for it.
No, you're not just jamming all the time, right? Here comes that Guardian.
Here we go.
Felidar Guardian. Cat is in play. Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag.
Ali sacrifices 2 mountains. Fire Blast. Greg Mitchell is going to lose this game, and Ali wins, forcing a game 3.
Ali is grilling Cat tonight.
We've seen Ali hardcast Rift Bolts on 2 different Stoneforge Mystic just to keep Greg off of that Batterskull.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Heads up play, of course. Pretty standard, but still a good play nonetheless.
Very heads up. And one of the reasons Rift Bolt is just really important for the deck, more targetable bolts is obviously, the selective part of Lightning Bolt is obviously part of the power and flexibility, especially when you have all these creatures that like represent so much of the damage you're supposed to put out in your deck. Bolting a creature becomes worth it when you're pumping your Swift Spear and getting in with it, right? It seems maybe a little unintuitive at first to not bolt someone in the face when you're playing Burn, but there you go. That's Burn 101.
Yeah. You know, there's a great Mike Flores article discussing essentially the theory of Burn.
Sure.
And when you have to manage the future gains that you'll get, the future expected value you get out of a creature on board versus the burn to the face, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Which one has a higher return? And that's what you're really bound, and that's what Ali has shown to balance perfectly, right?
Yep.
There's a higher return on this burn on the creature than on Greg's face.
Goblin Guide's a heck of a magic card, etc., etc.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in Standard right now. The burn deck in Standard is nuts. I do not know if you've been following this,
Oh,
Michael.
is it an intricate deck?
Well, it's not intricate so much as they have 8 lightning bolts in Standard right now. And there's the card Runaway Steamkin,
yes.
which lets you generate extra mana and extra damage.
I do like that card.
So there is a turn 3 burn kill. It is a nut straw. It's a Runaway Steamkin and not ever getting blocked dream scenario, but it can happen.
Okay. So it's a goldfish.
Yeah, it's a goldfish, but like there's a Turbo Fog deck that could just totally die to that draw because they might keep like a 4 mana enchantment that's really nuts. Standard's
Man.
really nutty right now. There's a 4 mana enchantment that you can play in Standard. It just says at the beginning of your end step, untap all your lands. That's all it says. That's all it says, Michael.
and it's like a good card right
do
now?
you know about the card Nexus and Fate?
Yes, Nexus.
They're in the same format.
Oh.
You can get to 10 mana on turn 5 and cast a Nexus of Fate.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Standard legal
Man.
magic. Standard legal magic.
Oh my goodness.
That's wild, dude.
Back to Legacy.
Anyways, yeah.
Look at this. Looks tame in comparison. Greg Mitchell just cast a Ponder.
Seriously?
Right? He flooded Strand, fetched a Tundra.
Everything is
there's
just
a Ponder.
busted open.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty
That's so
crazy.
funny.
I've been playing Arena a little bit. It's very fun, but it's not our favorite format that we love here.
Greg taking a look, showing us his hand. I believe I saw Saheeli Rai and Stoneforge Mystic. Great start for Greg.
If your name starts with an S and you ordered cards,
Come to the register.
Please go to the register.
Does that mean there's multiple S peoples, or we just don't want to
We can
name
only
the person
guess.
with the S?
Ooh, that's true. Or maybe it's just unpronounceable in some weird way. Maybe they wrote like a bad word. Man, I'm gonna do that the next time I order something at card game.
I like that. A name that they can't say.
I'm gonna
at the
Bart
register.
Simpson them.
Riftbolt is going to take out that Stoneforge Mystic, and Greg Mitchell learned his lesson this time.
Yeah.
This time he got Umizawa's
Yeah.
Jite. Here is a Fetchland Crack from Ali, and that is an Eidolon
All
of
right.
the Great Revel.
The party is just getting started.
Greg's already moved up the Swords of Plowshares to the front of his hand. But are we going to see a Saheeli Rai turn 3, or are we going to see a Swords?
I think we're just gonna see a swords.
It's a Swords. And that's a beta Swords.
Greg Mitchell's a high roller. What can we say? This man wants to play with only the dopest of original Magic cards.
All right. Greg thinking about his next play. Not sure what it is.
Well, he's not under the jail that is Eidolon in play anymore.
Mhm.
So he's brainstorming and definitely trying to set something up.
Main phase brainstorm. Whenever Greg plays a brainstorm, I always feel like he's playing it at the perfect time.
Yeah,
I'm always scared when he plays it because I'm like, oh, you probably played that at exactly the perfect time.
Greg and Sean Yu are the two where when brainstorm is cast, I'm sort of like, yeah,
Like
This
you
isn't
just
gonna-
this
this
is
isn't gonna
essentially
go
you
well.
drawing three,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
this feels bad.
Yeah. And there's a Ponder from Greg now too, just churning through his deck. It's going to be a shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's true for Greg and Sean, but certainly it always feels that way, right?
Oh yeah, Sean Yu's a rebel cult leader. I think he's an all around pretty chill dude.
I believe we're talking about the Joe Cool
The clergy
group.
of cool.
Yes.
You know, listen, I'm in that group, and I don't think you have anything to be worried about, QC.
Only some Snoopy love.
Only some love for the dogs.
Yep.
Maybe some Mickey love. Anyways, burn spells are happening.
Chain lightning to the face of Greg Mitchell. Greg down to 14,
Yeah.
and now
In what is otherwise not such an eventful match. Mostly cantrips and burn spells. Allie's at 18 from fetching, correct. Yes, in fact, I think...
no. There's a Source of Plowshares on the Eidolon.
Oh, yeah, you're
so
right.
Ali went back up to 20, now down to 19 from this fetch.
There we go. I always do that too with swords. I'll forget to mark the life gain I get myself from swords. Yeah,
I
there you go.
remember playing Source of Plowshares when I was a kid and being like, this card lets your opponent gain life. This card is terrible.
Right?
I remember that. I was
Isn't
like,
that cute?
why would anyone play this
Why
card?
would
Your
anyone
opponent
want
gains
this?
life?
Gross.
No, I don't want to
Oof. Here
swords
comes
my
the click.
opponent's scaled
That's-
worm.
Maybe going to be pretty effective here. It's just going to eat this burn spell though, and maybe Ali's just on lands after that.
Could be lands.
Yeah.
It is 3 lands.
Wow.
Oh, horrible draws for Ali.
Not
Unfortunate.
a good look.
Very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Greg Mitchell just knows he's at no risk of losing anytime soon, so can take all the time he'd like to set up Saheeli Ride. No defenses up at all.
No defense.
Umezawa's Jite hits the board. No punish. Ali
that
is going to upkeep fetch.
And I think all Ali's really looking for here is actually that card that was right on the bottom of their library, Sulfuric Vortex.
Oh.
That is a classic burn finisher.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's Greg with the Jite on the battlefield,
Yes.
hoping to gain some life. If we rip a Vortex and resolve it, which unfortunately I don't think we did, that shuts off life gain and deals 2 to the dome for both players every turn, every upkeep.
That'd be a big time. Big time play. There is a Snapcaster Mage. Maybe gonna flashback a brainstorm here.
Wow.
That's what it is.
QC, if you tell me what to type right now, I can try.
This is a broadcaster only command.
This is your moment.
So that means that we get to do this.
Yes,
I believe
it's true.
Okay, does this work?
Only Joe Fax works. No, a Cat Fax does work. Okay.
Okay, and here's Greg suiting up the Snapcaster Mage with an Umezawa's Jite, 2 counters on that Snapcaster Mage.
His whole card.
Jake's deck has been returned to him. Death and Taxes back in your arms, your loving arms.
My loving arms. I'm hugging it right now. You can't see it home.
Saheeli Rye hits the board for Greg Mitchell, and we just have to call this out every time because how often do we get to see Saheeli Rye in Magic?
I tell you, not a lot since they banned the Felidar Guardian. It does see play in Modern occasionally. There's a pretty cool 5-color or 4-color Saheeli combo deck.
Yeah, Ali with the handshake. That means Greg Mitchell just went 4-0 with Felidar Guardian and Saheeli Rye.
What a monster. I mean, is this just the new meta now? Is this just what we have?
Right now, I'm giving you...
Oh, no. Oh, QC, I can't even see that. You have to understand...
I'm giving you the...
wait, let me check something. Let me check one thing.
LSV look after the Bonfire of the Damned.
Oh, I got it. What is... Oh, I remember that. The flipped Bonfire.
Yeah, the flipped
the
Bonfire.
LSV next to him.
Does anyone want to... Can we get an interview with Greg? Sure.
Yeah, do you want to do an interview with Greg?
Yeah, let's get
do
Greg
it.
up in here.
I am very curious as well.
All right. everyone can catfax now, folks. Hopefully you enjoy. All right. We are gonna get Greg Mitchell up in here for a little interview. And then that's going to be it for the night, I think, folks. 4 rounds of Legacy action, including Cat Combo. And we got to see some great matchups tonight. So glad you could join us. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that follow button. Would love to know that you enjoy this content. Greg Mitchell packing up. We're going to bring it back to the booth here. What's up, folks? Michael Tessier in the booth for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in every single week, participating in chat or not, just watching, being a member of our Legacy community, Card Kingdom community, Mox Boarding House community. Thank you so much. We're about to get Greg Mitchell in the house here, our 4-0 tonight with Saheeli Rye combo featuring Felidar Guardian, Stoneforge Mystic package. Just pretty cool. He said combo control is how he defined it. Greg Mitchell, welcome to the booth. The people want to know. Hey. The people want to know, Greg.
Hey. Whoa, these are weird. They're like super sound canceling. Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you. Welcome. 4-0.
Yeah.
4-0.
Wasn't expecting that. But Hey, copycat.
With Copycat. Okay,
Yeah.
how did it feel?
Sweet. I love Jank. This is definitely not what I expected to win with,
Okay.
but
Okay, so it's essentially blue, white, red, Stoneforge Mystic, and what did you take out to put in Felidar Guardian and Saheeli Rai?
I usually don't think of decks in those terms. I think it's better to think of them sort of holistically.
Okay.
So I started with the idea of like brainstorm, ponder. That's where you start blue decks, force of will, and then I'm like, well, what are the value creatures so that I can turn my combo pieces into things that draw cards?
Okay.
And so got to like a couple of Stoneforge Mystics and like some Snapcaster Mages, and then just generic control cards from there.
Nice. Your matchups tonight, and how did they go?
I had a really, really interesting game against Lee. He was playing Eldrazi, sort of like a mix. Sort of, like the half aggro, half big.
Yeah, like Thought-Knot-Seer, Reality Smashers, and...
He said he didn't have Thought-Knot-Seers, but it's sometimes hard to tell if Lee's joking or if he's not.
Yeah, thinking emoji. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. And I've played against Randy on Elves. Also very interesting games where he is not sure if he's trying to respect... Like, he had a really difficult time assigning roles. So he thought sees me, and he had more discard, more removal, and just like isn't sure if he wants to be the control deck against my combo or if he wants to try to be aggressive, and ended up not lining up well against my hand.
Man.
And then the other game was against Death Shadow. Yeah, so pretty real matches, I would say.
Yeah. And against good players, and that's awesome.
I'm excited for the deck. It's a lot less bad than I thought it was.
Okay. Is this conceivably competitive in Legacy?
I could see it being tier 2.
Okay. Like, whoa, tier 2.
Yeah, I mean,
like on par with sort of a normal blue-white Stoneforge deck, like kind of in the same.
Yeah, it has a real different dimension being able to just like combo out at not at instant speed. Like you can do it on turn 6 by Felidar untapping the land and Saheeli comboing out of nowhere. But like the opponent has to respect the combo, which means they play really suboptimally. And so like there's some stupid sequences of like Stoneforge Mystic Saheeli Guardian, like you saw against Ali, where like you just pressure them. You keep on presenting things that they have to have the right answer to, and they're all sort of different answers.
Got it. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's going to get crushed by Grixis. But, which, by the way, was in the finals mirror match on Sunday.
Yeah. Josh Monks.
Yeah.
Taking it, but...
What a tear.
Close one. So, I got to tell you, this is pretty cool, because back in the SCG Open days, I lived in Oregon. I never got a chance to come up here, but I knew who you were on the source.
Oh, really?
Feel free to say it if you want or not.
Yeah, Phase on Mutant?
Phase on Mutant. I would follow, I would see you post about like tin fins, and I'd be like, man, I wish I could ask this dude questions about tin fins and like learn more about it and like watch him play it so that I could understand how this deck works, but I couldn't. But now, here you are, playing cat combo. I can ask you any question I want.
That's true.
You just answered all the questions I would have asked.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's exciting. I think it's cool.
Phase on Mutant in the house, and ask him a question and use holistically. How would you say? I don't know. Any final comments about cat combo in Legacy?
It's probably better than Twin. Seems fun. Try it out.
Cool. Nice.
I have Russian Saheelis.
Yeah.
That's also key.
That's
you
critical.
can't 4-0 without Russian ones.
How do you think this deck would do against Death and Taxes?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Revoker and Swords of Plowshares. Kind of the only two things you're worried about?
Yeah. So Lee played a couple of Thorns, and the deck played through Thorn surprisingly well. So Thalia might not be a big deal. Stoneforge Mystic can be trouble, so maybe their Revokers are too taxed, but that's just theory crafting.
Yeah. Cool. Looking forward to seeing. I know you like find a deck that catches your interest, and you tinker with it for a while, and then you're like, I like this other thing. Let's just switch out that and take her. So hopefully you can see a long run of Copycat, but
We'll have to see.
always loving the Greg Mitchell brews.
Thanks. Yeah, I got 10th with Storm on Sunday, so probably going to stick with that. I
Oh.
really enjoy Storm.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Greg. Congratulations
doing
on the
commentary.
4-0. Oh, yeah. Happy to do it.
Cool.
All right. See you next time. And for myself, Michael Tessier, Jake McCune, and for our 4-0 tonight, Greg Mitchell with Copycat, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week for more Monday Legacy action. See you guys.